Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto has all elemental affinities NaruHina. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by uberjjk, link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. October 8th. No, Kushina and oh. I yell as I stand there watching the life drain out of her eye, crying. I hear crying. I ran towards it. I see a boy, he looks just like me, with whisker marks on his cheeks. My vision suddenly begins dimming and I start falling. Right before I hit the ground and darkness takes me, I see two blood-red eyes with what looks like a comma in each staring at me, as if looking into my soul. My last thought before the darkness takes me is, the Sharingan. HHH, the Yondaime Hokage yells as he leaps up from the mountain of paperwork he was sleeping on. What the hell was that, a bad dream? Or was it a warning of the future? Was his reaction to that dream, or as he would call it, a nightmare? Maybe I shouldn't eat ramen before I go to sleep, Minato mutters to himself as he gets back to what he was doing before he fall asleep, fighting his archenemy. The single most evil thing in the world, paperwork. Tora has escaped, again. The Haruno clan is complaining that the Uchihas have been copying their clan techniques, and a number of Kunoichi have been complaining that the Hyuga have been peeping on them. He knew, didn't he? That's why he was so ready to give me this job. Damn you, Sarutobi, for cursing me with this. With a sigh, he put the sheet back down and started hoping someone would come in to save him. Conveniently right that moment an ANB wearing a wolf mask appeared in a puff of smoke. Hokage-sama, we have just received warning from our outposts. It appears that the Kyuubi no Kitsune is heading this way. With this, the Yondaime's face went from joy at being rescued from the dreaded paperwork, to curiosity at what was happening, to pure dread at the mention of the Kyuubi coming to Konoha. It will be here in 2 days, the ANB finished off. Quickly thinking, the Yondaime began formula a plan on how to deal with this situation. Wolf, go get Sarutobi-sama and Kakashi and tell them to meet me in my office in 10 minutes. Then inform all the other shinobi to assemble for an announcement by me in 3 hours. The young Hokage commended. Hi Hokage-sama was all the reply the Yondaime got before Wolf vanished in a puff of smoke and leaves. Why can't Anbu ever use the door, Minato thought before he slumped into his chair and began thinking on what to say when the others arrived. 10 minutes later. Okay, I have called you two here for a good reason. The Kyuubi no Yoko is coming to Konoha. It will be here in 2 days' time. With this, the former third Hokage dropped his pipe and Kakashi too nearly dropped his book. What do you mean, Hokage-sama? The Kyuubi is a myth, Kakashi asked while trying to keep the fear out of his voice. As even the great copycat ninja had heard the legend of the Kyuubi, and he could honestly say he didn't want to meet it ever. I mean exactly what I said, the Kyuubi is coming, and we have 2 days to prepare. Also, how many times do I have to tell you to call me Minato? Minato replied while he wondered if he would have to use that jutsu. What do you want us to do, Minato-sensei? Kakashi, I want you to explain my plan to all the shinobi in the meeting in 3 hours. As both me and Sarutobi-san will be searching for a way to defeat the Kyuubi. Now the plan is I want all the genin to aid in evacuating all the civilians, and they will be responsible for guarding them. The Chunin will guard the wall and try to minimize the damage done to the city. All Jonin and Anbu will be responsible for the actual combat with the beast. Their job will be to do whatever they can to slow it down. The Yondaime said while hoping that no one would die. He knew that there will be a lot of deaths that day. Hi Minato-sensei, and with that Kakashi vanished in a cloud of smoke and leaves. Well then, let's get started with that. The current and former Hokages went to try and find a way to save Konoha. October 10th. Doton, Yomi no Makatan, Kakaku no Jutsu Suiton, Suryuden no Jutsu and the sound of many other jutsus were called out as shinobi from all over Konoha tried to hold back the Kyuubi to give their great Yondaime Hokage more time. Konoha Hospital. What happened? A panicked Hokage asked the medic standing in front of him. I'm sorry Hokage-sama, but she is in the final stages of labor, but it seems she is getting weaker every minute. I fear that it is because of the Kyuubi's demonic chakra. While we are all fighting it off with our own chakra, all her chakra has been used to prevent it from killing her child while it's in this key stage. If it wasn't for that, the baby would already be dead, the medic said sadly. So when she's given birth she'll be fine, right? The still panicked Hokage asked. I'm sorry, but no. The demonic chakra has brutally attacked her body. Her organs have already started failing. There is no chance of recovery. She may live a few minutes after childbirth, but no longer. At that, the Hokage's face fell and he muttered silently, so my child will grow up alone. Suddenly a nurse came running up. Hokage-sama, come quick, she's nearly done. With that, Minato disappeared in a yellow flash, and before anyone could blink he was beside his beloved wife for what he knew would be the last time. He looked on as she pushed one final time and out came his child. It's a boy, said the doctor. Naruto. Everyone turned to look at Kushina and she whispered it again, call him Naruto. Kushina-chan, please don't go, don't leave our son without a mother. At that she weakly shook her head. I'm sorry Minato-kun, but I can't last any longer. Goodbye, my love, she said as she laid back down. No, Kushina and no. The Yandame Hokage yelled as he stood there and watched the life drain out of her eyes. Then, just like the dream, he hears crying. That sound is his son. With that, he remembers what he must do. Grabbing his son, he disappears and his trademark yellow flash out to the gate where the former third Hokage stood waiting. Minato, wait, let me go. You must continue living. For the village, they need you, and for your son, as he will need you. Smiling sadly, Minato looked at his old friend and shook his head. No, my friend, no. As the Hokage, this is my responsibility. So I must go and seal the Kyuubi, then join my wife in death. Sarutobi-san, do me one last favor. Anything, Minato, take care of Naruto. Make sure he grows up to love this village. Don't tell anyone about his family, at least not until you feel he's ready. Finally, make sure they see him as the hero he is, not the demon he holds. Of course, my friend. The weary Hokage replied, knowing that his friend and successor's final wish would be left unfulfilled. After that, Minato disappears in a flash one last time out into the battlefield. Pricking his finger, he summons the Gamabunta for the last time. Minato, why have you called me here? To help me stop that thing, he replies while pointing to the Kyuubi thrashing about. Are you sure you want to do that to him? There is no other way. Let's begin. With that, the Yandame Hokage begins his final act as Hokage. He activates the Shiki Fujin and begins the process of sealing the Kyuubi into his son, condemning him to the fate of Bina Jinchuriki. As the last of the Kyuubi's soul is sucked into the seal on Naruto, Gamabunta bids them goodbye. Goodbye, Minato, for the last time. May your son be treated with the respect he deserves. With that, he disappears in a massive cloud of smoke. Falling to the ground from Gambunta's head, Minato managed to position himself to shield his son from the damage of the fall. While doing so would normally kill him, since he was dead anyways, it didn't matter much. The young Hokage lay on the ground as the last of his soul is sucked out by the Shinigami, and his vision begins to black. He looks at his son's face one last time and is shocked at what he sees. His son's eyes, instead of the cerulean blue they were when he was born, they are now the blood-red color of the Sharingan, at the first stage. Then as he dies, his last thought is one word: Sharingan. Elsewhere, Kakashi stood panting as hard as his body would allow. After fighting the Kyuubi for only 30 minutes, he was completely drained, physically, mentally, emotionally, chakra-wise. It took everything he had just to stand against the beast's massive killing intent and demonic chakra. To make matters worse, every single jutsu he tried was not only completely ineffective against the natural terror but drained at least 5 times as much chakra than normal. Then all of a sudden he felt as if the weight of the world had suddenly lifted from his shoulders. He looked up and saw that the great Kyuubi, king of demons, was gone. All he saw was trees and a big frog. It must be Gamabunta, he thought to himself. Then he noticed something that terrified him. He saw what looked like his sensei and Hokage seem to fall from the head of the toad boss to the ground, with the frog disappearing right after. No, Minato-sensei! Kakashi shouted as he put all his chakra into a high-powered Shunshin jutsu to teleport the 1.5 miles between him and the fallen Hokage. What Kakashi wouldn't realize till days later was that he had just broken the 1 mile barrier for the Shunshin, which no one else had been able to cross. Minato-sensei! Kakashi yelled as he looked down on his former teacher's body. Checking his pulse, he realizes that his teacher, who he loved like a father, had died, sacrificing himself to save the village from that monster. As he looks to where the Yandame's arms reach, he sees a small baby, who surprisingly was not crying. What was more shocking was the first-level Sharingan in his eyes. Then all of a sudden they vanished back to the cerulean blue they were not that long ago. When Kakashi sees this, he looks from the baby's face to his fallen teachers and back several times before it hits him. That must be his son. Kakashi's thoughts then stalled. Wait, wasn't he married to Kushina? She wasn't an Uchiha then. As he sees the glowing seal on the baby's navel fade, realization hits him: the Kyuubi. It must have been his sealing that case this. Oh, the Uchihas are not going to be happy. It's bad enough I have Obito's Sharingan. Deciding to leave the pondering to later, he picks up the baby's body in his left arm and the dead Hokage's in his right. He begins the trek back to Konoha, as the bearer of the bad news. As he approaches the main gate, he hears shouting Kakashi. He looks up and sees the third standing there waiting for him. When he gets closer, he asks him a question he already knows. Hokage-sama, is this child who I think he is? The only reply Kakashi got was the slow nodding of the old Hokage's head. Well then, we are going to have a hell of a time then, aren't we? Again, all the former Hokage can do is nod his head. We should get to your office before we talk any more about this. There is some sensitive information you need to know, Hokage-sama. With that, Kakashi takes off for Hokage Tower with the former and now the current Hokage right behind him. Hokage Tower, minutes later. What was so important we had to come all the way here to discuss, Kakashi? Before he answers, Kakashi lays the dead body of the Yandame onto the ground and puts his child onto the Hokage's desk. There are a number of things. As you undoubtedly know, it is clear that Minato-sensei sealed the Kyuubi into his son using the Shiki Fujin, which we clearly need to read up on to see what exactly it does to the Kyuubi and the boy. Also a piece of shocking news. When I first saw the boy lying next to Minato-sensei's body, I saw he had the first level Sharingan in both his eyes. At that, the old Hokage, or as he would later be called, Old Man, allowed his jaw to drop to the ground in pure shock. The Sharingan? That's not possible, was all he could get out before Kakashi could reply. I think it might have to do with the sealing of the Kyuubi. I get this feeling that the Sharingan is connected to the Kyuubi in some way, and by sealing him into Minato-sensei's son he somehow gained the Sharingan. The elderly Hokage just stood there pondering the trouble they were in. Well, we have to tell the council about the sealing, but I think we can keep the Sharingan just between the three of us. Kakashi nods to this. Will we tell them about his parentage? No, Minato wouldn't want his son spoiled because of who his father is, but if the village doesn't accept him like Minato wants, and something bad happens, I will tell them. Also think of how much danger he would be in. Just the number of Iwa named after him would be ludicrous. Kakashi nods slowly in understanding. Hokage-sama, do you think I could be allowed to watch over the boy? And when he gets old, train him in the Sharingan? At this, Sarutobi sits there slowly thinking, then comes to a decision. Yes, Kakashi, once he is 5 you are to begin secretly training him. Make sure he understands that your training and his Sharingan are secret, and only to be revealed if his life or the lives of his friends are in danger. Hi Hokage-sama, one last question, what is his name? Thinking back to what Minato and Kushina had talked about, his name shall be Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto. With that, Kakashi bids the Hokage goodbye and disappears in a puff of smoke. Seconds later, the new Hokage's assistant comes running in. Sandame-sama, the council has gathered and is demanding to see you. At that, Sarutobi picks up young Naruto and as he walks to the council room says, You're going to cause me a lot of headaches, aren't you? At that, little Naruto only giggles. Council room. Hokage-sama, where is the fourth? Where is the Kyuubi? Asked the clan leader of the great and mighty. Well, in their minds, Uchiha clan, Fugaku Uchiha. When he saw the baby in the third's arms, he spat in his normal disrespectful voice. And why did you bring a child to this meeting? Sighing, the professor, as he was commonly referred to as, put young Naruto on the long council table. He is here for but one reason. He is here because of how Minato saved our village. Knowing there was only one way to stop the Kyuubi, Minato performed a powerful sealing jutsu that summoned the mighty Shinigami himself and calling upon him to drain the Kyuubi's soul out of its body and into a host, a Jinchuriki. But this came at a great cost. This jutsu allows the Shinigami to claim its summoner's life as well as the Kyuubi's when his host dies. This is quickly followed by much murmuring. Then finally Fugaku is the first to respond, kill the demon child. As he leaps to his feet in anger. This reaction causes shocked faces to not only appear on the Hokage but the leader of both the Hyuga and Danzo. While the Nara and Abderrahim clan leaders just look like they expected this to happen. A number of members from the civilian part of the council look ready to join Fugaku. There shall be no such thing done to the boy, and he is not a demon child. The old man yelled at the top of his voice, while releasing a crippling amount of killing intent that not even the great Fugaku can stand against. He is a hero to the village, not a demon child. Also killing him may release the Kyuubi, as Minato expected this boy to live a normal shinobi life, so who knows if the seal needs to last for a certain period of time before it can hold the Kyuubi's soul tight enough to send it to the Shinigami. Burning with hatred at the loss of his own clan members to the Kyuubi, at Sarutobi Baka as he would refer to him at home, for stopping him for killing the demon child and making him look like a fool, Fugaku shouts, then at least lock him away, we can't risk the Kyuubi taking control and killing us all. Shaking his head in disappointment at the Uchiha head, Sarutobi replies no. Naruto shall become a ninja. The seal is powered by Naruto's chakra. It is also designed to slowly drain away the Kyuubi's chakra to make Naruto's chakra level equal to that of the Kyuubi. To create an unbreakable seal, because the stronger he becomes the weaker the Kyuubi shall become. Danzo decides at that moment to step in. Hokage-sama, if you would please allow me to raise Naruto en route, he could become a powerful weapon for the village. In complete and utter shock, the third yells out. And no, he will not become a weapon. He will become a ninja, like any other citizen of Konoha, and that is final. Finally, I am hereby declaring it illegal to talk about the sealing of the Kyuubi to anyone who doesn't know, especially Naruto. If you are caught breaking this law, it's instant death sentence with no trial. With that, the third picks up Naruto and takes him back to his office before anyone in the council room can protest. Time skip 5 years, October 10th. All across Konoha a loud scream could be heard, please stop, and all over Konoha there was laughter. Now you would think that laughing at someone in trouble would be frowned on, but in Konoha there is only a small minority who would frown on this. Today is October 10th. The day of the Kyuubi attack, and little Naruto's birthday. Today is also that shinobi and civilians all over the village team up to try and kill poor Naruto. Now for the past few years he has been either in the company of one of his few friends, or safely out of reach, but not today. Today Naruto is out in the open and about to pay for it. Die demon brat! And die demon was been shouted by the ninja at the front of the mob attacking Naruto, They would shout these things as they threw kunai and shuriken at the poor boy. Luckily for Naruto, his best friend, other than the old man as Naruto would refer to him, was on his way. This friend was known to many as Kat, a powerful and deadly ANBU captain, but to Naruto he is known as Kakashi. Just as one of the ninjas is about to throw another shuriken, Naruto, a loud chirping is heard. It sounds almost like there were 1,000 chirping birds. Along with the sound there is a large white coming from the sky. The ninja looks up to see Kat falling towards him with a chidori in hand. Before he can even think of moving, the chidori strikes and Kat's hand is sticking out of the ninja's chest. At the shocked looks of all those around him, Kakashi looks up and yells, while pulling his hand out of the dead man's chest. All of you are to leave now. Unless you want to join your friend here? Terrified of the legendary ANBU captain, and the massive levels of killing intent he is producing, the mob quickly run off screaming. Kakashi, turning around to see Naruto slowly starting to stand up, looking at the gashes he has all over his body, Kakashi is shocked by the boy's healing speed, as he had never seen Naruto this injured before. The wounds were just sealing themselves up. If they keep healing at this rate, he'll be fine a couple minutes. At the moment Naruto finishes getting up and sees just who is standing in front of him, Kakashi knees and Naruto yelled in excitement, completely forgetting his rapidly healing injuries. Sighing, Kakashi replies, Naruto, how many times have I told you to call me Cat when out in public? Remember when I wear this ANBU mask, I'm Cat. We can't have my enemies finding out who I am and killing my friends, can we? Pondering this for a second, then 2, then 3, after about 10 seconds Kakashi starts to wonder if he broke his little brother's brain. Okay, Kaka-Kat-sen, frowning under his mask at how long it took Naruto to decide upon that small sentence, he decided that since he was 5 today, that now would be the perfect time, quickly grabbing Naruto and performing a shushin to his apartment, as he knew Naruto's wasn't secure enough for what he was about to ask Naruto. Naruto, you want to be a ninja, right? At this Naruto sucks in a deep breath of air and yells at the top of his voice. Hell yes, I'm going to be not only the best ninja but the Hokage someday, then everyone will have to respect me and stop being so mean to me. Frowning slightly at both the volume and the fact that Naruto thinks everyone is mean to him. Well, to become the Hokage you have to be the strongest, right? At this Naruto nods. Well, how do you get strong? That's easy, training. Nodding at this. Good, so how do you feel about going to train with me for a while? Then Naruto just froze. After 10 seconds Kakashi was starting to worry. Naruto? Wait, training, I get to do some real ninja training. Naruto yells while doing some strange dance. Sighing at what it seems he got himself into, Kakashi decides to stop the dance. Naruto, stop that. There are 3 conditions you need to obey if you want me to train you. Stopping suddenly, Naruto faces Kakashi with a questioning look on his face. Okay, condition 1. You can't tell anyone about me training you. If you do, I might get in trouble because the council doesn't want me to train you. Second, if I train you, you can't show off your new strength unless someone's life is in danger. Third, I want you to swear to use all your power and heart to protect those that are precious to you, okay? Thinking for a minute, Naruto replies, Hi, Kakashi-sensei. I swear that I will keep our training secret, not show off my new power, and I swear even more so on both my life and my dream to become Hokage that I will do anything to protect those that are precious to me. Nodding at this, Kakashi grabs Naruto, and just before shining both of them to Training Ground Zero, only known by the 3rd Hokage, 4th Hokage, Kakashi and a few other high-level nin. Time skip 3 years. It had been 3 long years since Kakashi became Naruto's sensei. In those years, Naruto had trained hard, extremely hard. He had trained to the point where he could no longer stand at the end of nearly every day. Today was one of the few days in which Naruto did not crumble to the ground at the end of his training. Kakashi had to go early and made sure Naruto stopped training, because as Kakashi once said, sleeping all night on the ground is not good for a ninja's health, and if you're sick you can't train. At that, Naruto immediately listened to Kakashi to make sure he wouldn't get sick and miss out on training. The reason for this was that Naruto loved to train. He loved spending time with someone. He loved learning. Kakashi learned that Naruto, just like his father, was like a sponge. If you don't train him properly, he won't learn a thing, but if you set aside the time to properly train and instruct him, he could grasp the most difficult subjects in days. Now, while saying that, Kakashi also learned a hard lesson. While Naruto can learn things quite rapidly, he sucked at mastering those things he learned. Because you see, to master something you have to work hard for long periods of time. That was not something that meshed well with Naruto's hyperactive personality and short attention span. But that has nothing to do with what is about to happen. You see, nobody knows this yet, but right now one of those little points in time is about to happen. At one of these points, even the slightest change can have massive results that can change the entire path of the universe. What is about to happen isn't just a slight change, it's a large change. As you see, Naruto doesn't know this yet, but he is about to change the path of his world forever. As Naruto is walking home, he sees Sasuke trying to improve his shuriken accuracy, but he doesn't know it's Sasuke, not yet anyways. So Naruto being Naruto and seeing someone in need of help, he walks over to Sasuke. "Hi," Naruto comments in the middle of Sasuke's throw, startling Sasuke, causing him to spin towards Naruto's voice while throwing the shuriken. The result of this been the shuriken whizzing past Naruto's head. "What the hell?" was Naruto's reply as he barely avoided having a few holes in his head. "Who are you?" the small and now afraid Sasuke, as he nearly killed someone, asked in his small, child voice. "My name's Uzumaki Naruto, what is your name?" Naruto asked in his completely and utterly innocent manner. "Uchiha Sasuke, you shouldn't sneak up on people like that, especially ninjas in training," said Sasuke as he started to build up some confidence in talking to this civilian child. "You're a ninja too? Cool, I'm a ninja, well not yet, I haven't even entered the academy yet. My teacher, he said due to my training with him, it would be pointless to go to the academy right now and that I should only take the last 2 years to get some friends my age before graduating." "So you're a ninja in training, eh?" asked the little Uchiha in disbelief at someone he had passed off as a useless civilian was actually been trained by someone, probably some great ninja, as only great ninja were allowed to take an apprentice, which is what this sounds like. Realizing that if what this Naruto's teacher said about him being ahead of the academy was true, then he might be able to help him with his problems, Sasuke asked Ano. "Could you help me with my shuriken accuracy?" asked Sasuke in a very weak voice. You see, asking for help from anyone, let alone a non-Uchiha, was considered a great dishonor, as Uchihas are meant to be the best and not need anyone's help. Sasuke reasoned his request as the kid, Naruto, had to be being trained by some great nin, and even an Uchiha can use the help of a great nin. "So it's alright, right?" "Sure, no problem. First, could you throw one at that training log?" Naruto asked in an extremely excited voice. The chance to help someone, and the fact that that person had asked for help, was so exciting to poor little Naruto that he was ready to explode in joy. For no one his age would play with him, or even talk to him. When he got near a kid his age, their parents would come over and take them away. That's why Naruto trained so hard, because he had no one to spend time with doing anything else. Hi was all the reply Naruto got as Sasuke proceeded to throw the shuriken with all his strength at the target, but like all the others it was halfway to the edge of the board. Nowhere near had the 100% bullseyes had that Itachi got. "I know exactly what's wrong." "What?" asked an excited Sasuke at the chance to improve and maybe catch up with his brother. "It's the way you throw. You need to throw with a flick of your wrist, not your entire arm. If you use your arm, it makes the shuriken wobble in flight, causing it to go off target. While a flick of the wrist sends it flying in a nice straight line, you only use your entire arm if you're really close and need to make a big impact, as you have more force but less accuracy." Without even replying, Sasuke immediately turned around, picked up another shuriken, and tried again. This time getting it inside the bull's eye, while not the dead center. It was much better. "Thanks, well I got to go. CYA, Naruto-san." And with that off ran the little Uchiha back home, leaving Naruto sitting there slowly thinking. I made a friend. I made a friend. I made a friend. At that, Naruto started dancing around doing that disturbing happy dance of his. Uchiha Clan District 10 minutes later. Outside the gates to the Uchiha Clan District stood 2 Anbu blocking entry. Seeing this, as he ran up to the gates, Sasuke asked what's going on. Still too excited from getting better at throwing shuriken to think about what reason Anbu would be blocking entry to the Uchiha estate. "Who are you?" asked a bird-masked Anbu in a deep voice. "My name is Uchiha Sasuke. So why are you blocking the gates to my clan district?" Even though Sasuke could not see the man's face, he instantly knew that a frown had developed on his face from his body language. "Listen, kid. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but your clan's dead." At this, Sasuke just froze from the looks of it. "It seems that your brother, Itachi, killed them all." At this, Sasuke just collapsed from mental overload. Sighing, the Anbu made a shadow clone and had him carry the poor boy to the hospital, where he could sleep in peace and safety. Kami knows that he will need it after what he just heard. Konoha General Hospital, the next day. A very groggy Uchiha awoke to the bright lights and white ceiling of a hospital. "What am I doing here? Why aren't I at home? Home MOM. Dad." Itachi, the last word was thought with the voice of deep hatred. We all know Sasuke uses this voice when he speaks of his brother. Remembering all this, our Uchiha decides he needs to be alone. So in his desire to be alone, he jumps out the window and runs away to the one place he knows he can be alone, the old jetty near the lake that no one ever visits anymore. Sasuke in 110% brood mode sat on the edge of the jetty and began to well brood. Fortunately for this world, this wouldn't last long. Training grounds, 20 minutes later. Naruto stood there panting heavily as he had just finished a sparring match with Kakashi while keeping the Sharingan on for the entire time. The reason this was so draining is due to a fact that very few people know: the chakra usage of the Sharingan is directly proportional to what you're using it for. Just using it for advanced vision would leave a very low chakra drain, but doing more advanced things, such as copying jutsus and worst of all using it in a sparring match to predict the enemy's movements, which takes a lot of effort and doesn't work very well without the third stage. That's enough, Naruto, don't want you to drop from chakra exhaustion now, do we? Said Kakashi while trying to cover up his own panting. How could an 8-year-old kid have that much stamina? We were sparring for at least 3 hours, must be thanks to Kushina-chan, she always had insane stamina, which the seal forcing Naruto to absorb the Kyuubi's chakra made even more insane. Hi Kakashi-sensei. With that, Naruto, having seemingly recovered from his exhaustion, walked off. While he was walking, he thought he heard the sound of crying. Heading towards it, what Naruto will see and do changes everything, for better or worse is unknown. Isn't that Sasuke? What he doing on the jetty? Why does it look like has been crying? Well, I should ask him. Hey Sasuke, what is wrong? Asked the little Naruto, not realizing the kind of pain those words would bring. Go away. Sasuke choked while holding back his tears so Naruto wouldn't see them. He didn't realize that Naruto wouldn't care that he was crying, or that Naruto had noticed that Sasuke's eyes were red from the crying he had done before being interrupted. No, now tell me, what's wrong? Naruto demanded. Sasuke, while frowning outwardly as a sign of irritation that the blonde would not go away, inside he was happy that he wasn't going to be alone. They're all dead. What? Was all Naruto could say. My clan. My entire clan. All dead. Everyone. With these few words, Naruto's face went from sorrow to regret and back to sorrow before asking what happened. Sasuke, deciding it might be better to tell someone, decided that Naruto would be that person. It all happened just after I meet you. On my way home, as I approached the clan gates, I noticed 2 ANBU standing there blocking my way. So I asked them what was going on. Then they at this, Sasuke started to break down again. They told me that my entire clan had been killed. Everyone except me. They also said. Then he just stopped. Really wondering what they said to cause this reaction, Naruto decided to push just a bit more. What did they say? They said he killed them, my own brother killed my entire clan. Everyone but me. With that, Sasuke started crying harder, as the grief overwhelmed him. Remembering Kakashi's favorite line, they who disobey the rules are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are less than trash. Naruto decided that he could break Kakashi's rule and chose Sasuke. Sasuke. What? Sobbed Sasuke as he showed no signs of recovering anytime soon. You're not alone, your brother didn't kill everyone. As Sasuke looked up to ask what he meant, Naruto turned on his Sharingan on. When Sasuke saw this, he immediately began to recover. What? How? Are you an Uchiha? Asked Sasuke in quick succession, the thought of having some family, any family left, starting to bring great joy to what was becoming his cold heart. Slow down, I don't know, and no, well, I don't think so. All I know is I am an orphan, just like you are now, and that my last name is Uzumaki. Not caring about those small things, Sasuke decided just to go with the flow and did something that neither he nor Naruto had been expected. He gave Naruto a big hug. A little startled by this, Naruto decided to take a gamble. Hey Sasuke, could you wait here a couple minutes? I need to quickly check something. After recovering a brief nod, Naruto vanished in the customary puff of smoke associated with the Shushin. Training grounds. Kakashi laid on the ground of the training grounds in complete exhaustion. While he had berated Naruto many times about training to exhaustion and spending the night in the training grounds, this time he had done exactly that. He was far too tired to move his fingers, let alone think of going home. It had been all of 10 seconds after Naruto disappeared from his sight that Kakashi collapsed into the exact spot we find him now. Seeing his blonde student approaching, Kakashi groaned, damn it, now I'm going to get a lecture from Naruto about how I'm always telling him not to train till he drops, and yet here I am doing exactly the opposite of what I tell him. As he saw Naruto standing right over him opening his mouth, Kakashi thought, here it comes. Kakashi-sensei, can my friend Uchiha Sasuke join our training sessions? Well, that was defiantly not what I was expecting, thought Kakashi as he started to reply. Naruto, you know that my lessons have to remain secret. Naruto, giving Kakashi a hard look, said, I know, but his entire clan was killed yesterday, he's all alone, besides I kinda showed him my Sharingan. Just as Kakashi was about to berate Naruto for revealing his Sharingan, Naruto hastily interrupted, I know, but you always say they who disobey the rules are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are less than trash, and Sasuke is a comrade, I couldn't leave him there thinking he was all alone, I know how it feels to be alone. Naruto finished the last part with his head down at remembering how he is all alone, except for his Kakashi-sensei and the old man. Kakashi, seeing the look in Naruto's eyes, decided to let Sasuke join. Besides, not only were they the only other two wielders of the Sharingan loyal to Konoha, but he could use it as leverage against the council. If they find out about his training and try and stop him from training Naruto, he will threaten them with stopping to train Sasuke as well. Voicing his answer, Kakashi said, fine, he can train with us, but bring him here first. Before Kakashi could even blink, Naruto was gone in what had to be the fastest Shushin he had ever seen. The old jetty. Appearing right next to Sasuke, Naruto quickly started talking before Sasuke could comment on his sudden appearance. Hey Sasuke, guess what? Still in a state of shock over, well, everything to do with this blonde ball of energy, Sasuke said. What? I managed to get my teacher to agree to train you two. Come on. And before Sasuke could reply, Naruto had grabbed him by the arm and dragged him off to Training Ground Zero with a Shushin. Training Ground Zero. In front of Sasuke laid Hatake Kakashi, the copycat Nin, the only known user of the Sharingan other than the Uchiha clan. One of the most feared men in all of the elemental countries. Paralyzed from chakra exhaustion. Sasuke was also paralyzed, but this was from shock. The great Hatake Kakashi was Naruto's teacher. Well, it would explain how Naruto could use the Sharingan without being taught by a member from the Uchiha clan. Speaking in a very tired voice, Kakashi said, Sasuke, if you want me to train you, there are 3 conditions. Leaning in closer, Sasuke anxiously awaited these conditions. First, you can't tell anyone about me training you or Naruto. If you do, I might get in trouble because the council doesn't want me to training Naruto, and they would probably get upset about you being around Naruto. Don't worry, they just don't like him. Second, if I train you, you can't show off your new strength unless someone's life is in danger. Third, I want you to swear to use all your power and heart to protect those that are precious to you, okay? Giving Kakashi a swift nod, Sasuke replies, I agree, Kakashi-sensei. I wouldn't want to get you or my new friend Naruto here in trouble. I also agree to use my power to protect those that are precious to me, even if right now I don't have anyone. But what about the second one? Why can't I show off my strength? To that, Kakashi quickly replied, well, you are already a pretty big target because you are an Uchiha, the last Uchiha. But if everyone thought you were weak, they would underestimate you, which gives you a key advantage. Remember, a ninja's life is all about deception. And what greater deception than making the enemy think you are weak? Nodding once more, Sasuke agreed. Then Kakashi said, well then, we'll start training tomorrow. Until then, could one of you carry me home? Chapter 2, Graduation. Time skip 4 years. As the sun slowly rises in the east, light begins to fill the village, and people begin to slowly rise from their beds for yet another day in their lives. One young child has already been awake for hours. In the middle of the night, when there was no one awake to catch him, this young boy scaled the great Hokage mountain and did something no one had ever dared to do before. He painted, yes painted, the Hokage's faces. Every single one of them. The first people to discover what happened are the ninjas, every one of them shocked that someone had been able to paint the faces without being caught. When one old man we are all familiar with goes to his window to find out what all the commotion is about, the pipe that was slowly rising to his mouth falls. For the first thing he sees is his face, on the mountain, painted. Then he sees the second's and the first faces, also painted. Gathering his courage, he dares to look at the fourth's face. There, he sees the face of the greatest Hokage ever. Painted, even worse than the other 3 Hokages. There is but one thing the old Hokage can do at this. He yells. Really loud. You might find yourself wondering, what did he yell? Well, the answer is 2 simple words. Uzumaki Naruto. All over the village his voice can be heard. In a record time of 10 seconds, every single ANBU is out of the ANBU barracks and on the rooftops hunting for the blonde prankster. One might think that wearing a jacket, described by Kakashi and the third as Kill Me Orange, and matching pants would make it easy to find him. That is not the case. After an hour of searching, the village's opinion of the ANBU is dropping to a new low. If they can't find one blonde 12-year-old in a Kill Me Orange jacket, what hope do they have for finding real ninja invading? What nobody but Kakashi and Sasuke knows is that the reason Naruto wears bright orange clothing is not because he is stupid, or colorblind, or just crazy, but because it makes it easier to find him. For you see, that is the entire reason he does these pranks. Not for fun, although he finds them highly entertaining, or to be cruel to the villagers, but because it makes for great stealth training to be chased around. What more could you want than to be trained by the entire ANBU and most of the Jonin? Even if it was without their knowledge, still it was a great way to train your stealth and avoidance skills. All of a sudden a cry was heard, I found him, yelled a random Jonin, and with that, they all began to circle in on Naruto. It was time for Naruto's next amazing feat, outrunning all these ninja, as he led them on a chase around the entire village 3 times. Guy, who was unaware of the reason they ninja were chasing Naruto, started yelling about youth and how youthful Naruto must be for his youthfulness to inspire so many ninja to be out training so hard in the morning. Sadly, all good things must come to an end. Just not the one the ANBU were hoping for. After 2 hours of chasing him all over town, the ANBU were tired. Naruto, who was slightly out of breath, decided to rest for a minute by hiding so it looked like he was a part of the wall. While the ANBU, then the panting Jonin, passed right by, one lone Chunin stopped and looked at where he was hiding. Pulling away Naruto's cloak, he uses his most powerful jutsu, the gigantic head jutsu. What the hell do you think you were doing painting the faces of the Hokage? Yelled a very irate Irika. Thanks to you, class has been delayed for over an hour, so we are now going to go to the academy where you will actually pay attention for once. Then after that I am dragging you to the Hokage for an explanation. Hearing Irika's voice echo across Konoha, the ninja chasing Naruto knew he was caught and would face hell after class. A number of them cursing the fact that Naruto had been caught by a mere chunin, while they had failed to even get close. The majority, though, cursed that the demon brat had got away from them. 5 minutes later, classroom. Okay class, now we were going to practice a new ninjutsu for use if you're graduate, but thanks to Naruto we don't have time for that, so we are going to all practice the transformation jutsu. The second Irika finished talking, the class let loose a gigantic sigh. With many people muttering things such as nice one Naruto, or thanks a lot failure, only Sasuke seemed not to care. Probably because he was highly amused watching Anbu and Jonin look for, and then chase Naruto for a total of 4 hours. Now class, said Irika, getting a little impatient. At that yet another sigh was let loose before the class slowly started filing down to the front of the room. Okay Sakura, you're up. Henge no jutsu. With that, Sakura transformed into a perfect replication of Irika. Nice job Sakura, next Sasuke. Henge no jutsu. As the smoke disappeared, another perfect replication of Irika stood there. Me again, good job Sasuke, next Naruto. I'm going to show you something special. No Nara was all that Irika could get out before Naruto yelled out sexy no jutsu when the smoke started to clear. When Naruto was just standing, stood a beautiful, naked girl, with smoke covering certain locations. At the sight of Naruto's jutsu, Irika went flying backwards with the telltale spray of blood from his nose, signifying one thing: he was a pervert. Somehow Irika recovered at an insane rate. Maybe he wasn't such a big pervert as the others? Naruto, you idiot, what the hell was that? Are you trying to fail the graduation exam? Yelled an angry Irika with an insanely overpowered giant head jutsu. Sorry Irika-sensei, Naruto said sheepishly with his hand behind his back. The next day, graduation day, classroom. Next up, Sasuke Uchiha. Called Mizuki-sensei from the testing room. Getting up from his seat, Sasuke turns to Naruto. You had better not fail, Naruto, was all he said before Sasuke proceeded off into the classroom. All the girls in the room glared at Naruto. For both the jutsu Naruto used yesterday and the fact that he was the only one Sasuke would talk to, or even acknowledge existed. Naruto suddenly becoming nervous from both the fact that he was next up and the angry stares he was getting. What did I do to piss them off? Or for that matter, the entire village? Just as Naruto finished his line of thought, Sasuke exited the exam room proudly wearing the leaf headband on his forehead. Next up, Naruto Uzumaki. At this the blonde got up and walked into the exam room. All his fears suddenly gone with a confidence that just seemed to come out of nowhere at times. Okay Naruto, please creates 3 bunchins, requested Mizuki. The clone jutsu? Ah man, it's my worst jutsu. Naruto runs through the hand signs tiger, boar, ox, stopping on dog bunshin and no jutsu with that a massive ball of blue energy surrounds him. Irika and Mizuki stand there in shock. He's summoning so much chakra it's visible, they both thought at the same time. The room filled with smoke. When it cleared, in front of them were just 2 things. A really disappointed-looking Naruto and a pathetic half-dead clone that looks nothing like the original lying on the floor. Getting upset at this for a reason he can't understand, Irika yells at Naruto, Naruto, you fail. Feeling rejected, Naruto jumps out the window and runs off to be alone. Leavening a regretful Irika to wonder why he did what he just did, giving Mizuki a chance to escape unnoticed and follow Naruto. 10 minutes later, outside the classroom. Naruto sat there depressed on the swing that hung from the tree across the road from the academy. I failed. I worked so hard. On my own. With Sasuke. With Kakashi-sensei. Why did I fail? What's wrong with me? I can summon thousands of perfect Kage Bunshin but not a single correct normal Bunshin. Just then Mizuki pops down behind him. Irika-sensei, tough, but he's not against you. Then why? Why only me? He wants you to be strong, with all his heart. He's like you, you know, no family, no parents. But then why? You'll never be strong if he goes easy on you, but I really wanted to graduate, with Sasuke. Noticing the friendly relationship between the Kyuubi and the last Uchiha convinces Mizuki that he has to kill him tonight to keep the last Uchiha safe. Okay then, Naruto, I guess I'll have you tell you. There's another way to pass. Now you might think that training with Kakashi for 7 years and Sasuke for 4 years would have made Naruto a little smarter than to fall for what Mizuki said, and normally you would be right. The reason that's not the case right now is that sorrow tends to mess with one's thinking ability. So, in this weak frame of mind, Naruto jumps at this. Really? How? Tell me. Tell me. Please, Mizuki-sensei, smiling at how the demon brat is falling so easily for his plan, Mizuki continues. Now, normally I wouldn't tell you this, as it's only used for the most talented students to test their skill, and we decided to stop using it a couple years ago, but it was never officially stopped. So if you do this, you can still pass. What you have to do is sneak into Hokage Tower. At the very top of the tower is a room that's heavily guarded. Inside are a bunch of secret scrolls that only elite ninja in the village are allowed to read. You need to sneak in there and take the biggest one, that's the scroll of sealing, then sneak out to this spot in the forest and learn one jutsu from the scroll before I catch you, you will pass. Naruto enjoyed that not only does he get a harder test but he gets to learn a cool new move from it, starts doing his happy dance. Starting to get scared at Naruto's crazy dance, Mizuki tells Naruto, okay Naruto, you have from 7 till 8 tonight to do it. Otherwise you fail, understood? Snapping out of his dance, Naruto nods before running off to plan. Excellent, the demon fell for it. Now, not only will I gain the forbidden scroll, but will be a hero for killing the demon. This is my best idea yet. With that, Mizuki teleports away while laughing evilly. 7:30 Some forest. Okay, so what's the first jutsu on here? Shadow clone jutsu. Ah man, I already know this one. Okay, what's next? Shadow clone great explosion. What's it say? Naruto says aloud to himself for some reason, while sitting in the middle of the forest reading from the scroll. Shadow clone, great explosion. Also known as Kage Bunshin Daibakuha, creates a special type of shadow clone. Unlike a normal shadow clone, it does not transfer knowledge back when it is destroyed. So it is useless for training or spying. It has a special property that makes it much more useful than the normal shadow clone for combat. Unlike a normal shadow clone that disappears in a puff of smoke when dispelled, these explode in a large explosion capable of killing or severely injuring anyone nearby. They can also be remotely detonated at the will of the clone's creator. Because of the large explosions caused by this jutsu and the fact that it requires twice as much chakra for this type of clone rather than a normal shadow clone, this is an A-rated kinjutsu, and should only be used by experienced jonin. Well, I'll learn it anyways, I'm sure they won't mind, as Mizuki-sensei never said which jutsu to learn, but it is strange that to pass the test you have to learn a kinjutsu, oh well. 7:58 Same location. Finally got it down, now I'm certain to graduate. Well, I've probably got a minute or two. I should probably memorize one more jutsu before they catch me with that. Naruto opens the scroll again. Swamp of the Underworld, what's that? Doton, Yomi Numa, an advanced A-rank jutsu. The user creates special swamp under the feet of the target. The size and depth of the swamp is determined by the amount of chakra used in it. If it's not deep enough, you can partially submerge someone/thing, allowing you to capture targets. Once someone/thing is completely submerged in the swamp, they are lost forever. Due to the danger of this attack and the massive chakra requirements for this jutsu, this is an A-ranked kinjutsu. Cool, I have to learn this. It's good for both attacking and for capturing people. With that, Naruto quickly memorized the hand signs. Just as he finished, Iruka appeared. Naruto, I caught you, said Iruka. Naruto just looked sheepish. Oh man, Iruka-sensei, I only had time to master one jutsu, but I did, so now I'm going to show it to you and I'm going to graduate, right? That's how it works. Anyone who learns a jutsu from this scroll graduates, right? Iruka, looking shocked at this, asks, where did you get an idea like that from? Naruto, looking dumbfounded, Mizuki-sensei told me. He told me how to find the scroll, and Naruto stops as he starts to realize he was tricked. Just then a whizzing sound can be heard. Iruka slams into Naruto, knocking both of them out of the way of at least a dozen thrown kunai. Why Mizuki-sensei? Was all Naruto could ask of his former teacher turned would-be assassin. Because not only could I get my hands on the forbidden scroll, but I could kill you, the Kyuubi no Kitsune, and become the hero of the village. At this, Naruto looked puzzled. So, you never wondered why everyone hates you? Why you are ignored? Why you are abused? It's because even thing you have been told is one big lie. The fourth was too weak to kill the Kyuubi, so he sealed it in you. Your body has been claimed by the fox. You are the nine-tailed demon fox. At this, Naruto began to crack. Quickly stepping in, Iruka yelled out to Mizuki, you know what you have done. You have broken the third's law. You know the penalty for that is death. At that, Mizuki just laughed. When I kill you and the Kyuubi, I can just say that you found the fox first and he killed you, while I managed to kill him, but the scroll was destroyed in the fight, giving me both the scroll and becoming the village's hero for finishing the Kyuubi off like the third was too weak to do. Hearing this, Naruto just snapped and ran away. And oh Naruto! Iruka yelled as his favorite student ran off into the dark. It's too late, Iruka, the fox is going to take the scroll and destroy the village with it. With that, Iruka runs after Naruto, with Mizuki following. While he's not looking, Iruka henges into Naruto and Mizuki henges into Iruka. Naruto, give me the scroll, called out the henge Mizuki. At that, Naruto spins around into a flying drop kick. How did you know it was me? Asked Mizuki as he transformed back. Just then the henge Iruka transforms back. Cause I'm Iruka. Why are you defending the demon brat? Don't you hate the Kyuubi for killing your parents? Unknown to both Iruka and Mizuki, Naruto was hiding behind a tree right near them listening to what they were saying. Yes, it's true, I do hate the Kyuubi, replied Iruka. Then Naruto's thoughts filled with sorrow and doubt, so Iruka never really believed in me. It was all an act. He hated me all along, but Naruto's not the Kyuubi. He is Naruto Uzumaki, one of my students. Sure, he may not be the best, but he's going to become Hokage one day. With that announcement, Mizuki scrunched his face into a scowl while all traces of doubt and sorrow left Naruto, leavening him with but one thought: Iruka really did believe in me. Well, Iruka, I was going to save you until after I killed the Kyuubi brat, but now you're just going to die. With that, he threw a shuriken at Iruka. Before Iruka could think about dodging, it was floating 2 inches from his face, with Naruto's hand through the hole in the middle. In an amazingly demonic-sounding voice, Naruto said, if you ever lay a hand on my teacher, I'll kill you. For 1 second Mizuki showed fear, then he laughed. You, a failure, beat me? I can kill you with 1 punch. At that, Naruto laughed. Do your best, I'll return it 1,000 times. With that, he put his hands in the Tora sign, Taiju Kage Bunshin and no Jutsu. At that, the entire forest filled with angry Narutos. There has to be over 1,000 of him, was all Iruka could think. Then with one mighty charge they all ran in and proceeded to beat Mizuki to within an inch of his life. The second they were done, they all dispelled. Hee. Maybe I overdid it a bit, Iruka-sensei, Naruto said sheepishly with his arm behind his back and a grin on his face. Naruto, for you to have learned such a powerful jutsu in just 30 minutes is amazing. Huh. Oh no, I didn't learn that from the scroll, I already knew that one, and before you ask, I'm not allowed to tell you who taught me it. At that, Iruka was just shocked. Then why didn't you use it in the graduation test? Naruto just looked at him dumbly. But Iruka-sensei, the test was to create a bunshin, not a Kage Bunshin. With that, Iruka just palmed his head. Naruto, by that we meant any bunshin. We just expected the normal one, cause that the one taught at the academy. With that, Naruto's face fell. So you mean I could have graduated? Iruka just nodded immediately. Naruto just looked down at the ground in sorrow. Then an idea came to Iruka. Hey Naruto, close your eyes for a second. Closing his eyes, Naruto waited and waited. Then you can open them now. When he opened them, Naruto could see Iruka holding his goggles in his hand, and he wasn't wearing his forehead protect. Looking up, Naruto realizes he's wearing Iruka's forehead protect. Congratulations, Naruto. You graduate. Overwhelmed with joy, Naruto tackles Iruka to the ground laughing. 468. Chapter 3, Team Assignments. The next day. In front of the Hokage stands Naruto, the demon brat, the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune, the legendary orange prankster, and a Konoha shinobi. The reason for this was the incident last night. The Hokage was questioning Naruto on what had happened on that night. Sighing, the old Hokage begins, so Naruto, why did you steal the forbidden scroll? I know you're smarter than such a pathetic lie. So why? Naruto stood there, with head down and his eyes bearing a hole into the poor floorboards. I'm sorry. The Hokage just stared at him. What? I'm sorry I fell for it. It's just I was so upset over failing. I was so upset I wouldn't graduate with Sasuke. Then Mizuki-sensei came and offered me a way to be with Sasuke. I just couldn't think straight. Seeing that Naruto was getting close to a breakdown, the third decided to say something first. It's okay, Naruto. We all make mistakes, especially when we are upset. Now you should go home and rest. Team assignments are tomorrow, so you'll have a big day. Hearing that, Naruto's head shot up so fast the third thought it might snap off. Really? You mean you're not going to punish me? You're not going to take my headband away? Shaking his head, he replied. No, Naruto, you earned that headband when you defeated Mizuki by yourself. In fact, I'm putting that down as a B-ranked mission, and before you ask, you're not getting paid for it, but I will seal records of the actual events of the mission. After jumping up and down in joy, Naruto starts to head to the door when a small caped figure comes bursting and yelling. This time I'll get you, old man. Before tripping on his own cape and falling face down into the hard floor. What happened? Asked the young boy as he stood up. Spotting Naruto, he yells, "Its your fault." Taken back by this, Naruto replies. What? Yeah, it's your fault, you tripped me over. This was starting to irritate Naruto. No, you idiot, you tripped over your own cape, yelled Naruto as he picked up the boy by his shirt and pulled his arm back about to deck him when a jonin came bursting through the poor door. Honorable grandson, now honorable grandson, there you are. Realizing who is holding the third's grandson, he yells, "Put the honorable grandson down, you brat." Seeing Naruto tense, the young boy smirked and yelled at him. Yeah, not brave enough to hit me now that you know the Hokage is my grandfather. All while poking his tongue out at Naruto. Well, I was going to leave you alone as a favor to the old man, but since you're a brat, and with that Naruto punched him square in the head. Then dropped him on the ground and proceeded to walk out. Later, old man, said Naruto casually as he gave the Hokage a backhanded wave, while the jonin came running to the aid of the young boy. Honorable grandson, are you okay? Wait, where did he go? Yelled the poor jonin as he realized the little boy had vanished. He's gone to chase after Naruto. The moment the Hokage finished that sentence, the Jonin ran out the door yelling, "Honorable grandson, come back." While thinking I have to protect him from the QB brat. The street. Shuffle shuffle. Naruto spins around after hearing this to see a box in the middle of the road. It has a pattern on it that is meant to make it look like some rocks. But it has perfect corners, and eye holes, and is in the middle of the road. Just shaking his head at the pathetic attempt at hiding, Naruto crouches down next to the box and says, "Come out of there, I know you're in there." "Ah man, that's why you're so cool, boss, and are going to train me," the box said right before it burst into a puff of smoke. Coughing could be heard coming from the smoke. As a small figure emerged. "Too much cough, gunpowder cough." At the kid's antics, Naruto could only laugh until the words hit him. "Boss? Teach you?" "Yeah boss, you're so cool, you have to know some cool moves that will make me Hokage in no time." Laughing a little, Naruto looks down at Kid and says, "Well then, first two things. First, what's your name?" "Konohamaru." "So they named you after the village, yeah?" Looking down, Konohamaru replied. "Yeah, they did. By the way, what was the second thing?" Meet me at Training Ground 7. And with that, Naruto disappears in a puff of smoke and leaves. "So cool, he's defiantly going to teach me that," yells out an overexcited Konohamaru as he runs off to Training Ground 7. Training Ground 7. "Okay Konohamaru, I want you to try and summon up as much chakra as you can." Konohamaru nods swiftly as he puts his hands into the ram sign and begins to focus his chakra. After getting a sense for the amount of chakra Konohamaru has, Naruto decides what he's going to do. "Okay, I'm only going to teach you one thing, as it's your teacher's job to actually teach you. Since you already have a pretty large amount of chakra for someone your age, you are going to learn control." At that, Konohamaru groans. "While you are learning control, it is also a really cool ninja trick that is very useful. You are going to climb trees." Konohamaru just stares at Naruto. Then stares some more. Then more staring. "Climb trees? I've known how to do that for years." Smirking, Naruto smugly replies. "Yes, but can you climb trees without using your hands?" Before Konohamaru can reply, Naruto summons his chakra to his feet and begins climbing. Konohamaru stares in awe as Naruto walks right up the tree. Now, not only will this allow you to enhance your chakra control, but imagine what you can do if you can walk up walls. Stick to the floor if there is a large wind caused by an enemy jutsu? The possibilities are endless. Now what you do is you summon your chakra to your feet. The reason we use your feet for this exercise is it's the hardest place on your body to summon chakra. Then you begin to walk, or if you're new, try running. As a hint my sensei never gave me, but should have, if you don't put enough chakra into the soles of your feet you'll fall off, while if you put too much you'll fly off. Or in my case, destroy the tree and be sent catapulting into the next one. That was a painful lesson. Just as Konohamaru starts to run towards a tree, a kunai embeds itself into the ground. Use that to mark how high you get. When you can climb all the way to the top you will have mastered the exercise. Grabbing the kunai, he begins to climb, and gets an amazing meter off the ground before coming crashing back down. Too little, try again. Naruto yells as Konohamaru gets up and tries again. Time skip 3 hours. Pant nearly at the top of the tree. Pant can't stop now, Pant, says Konohamaru as he runs up the tree one last time. He quickly begins to rise up the tree, but just as he reaches the top he runs out of chakra and comes crashing down to earth. Luckily for Konohamaru, Naruto is there to catch him before he hits the ground. Great job Konohamaru, you managed to learn it in just 3 hours. It took me 2 days, but then you do have less chakra and a better teacher than I did, Naruto says with a smile across his face. With that, Naruto and Konohamaru sit down on a log and Naruto decides to ask him the question that has been plaguing him since he started teaching the kid. "So, why do you want to become Hokage? And why do you always attack the Hokage?" Looking up at Naruto, Konohamaru lowers his head and begins talking. "Well, as you know, I was named after the village, but no one sees me as Konohamaru. Everyone just sees me as the honorable grandson this, honorable grandson that. No one sees the real me. Just the grandson of the Hokage. So if I can defeat the Hokage, I would prove that I'm somebody, my own person. I want to be the Hokage so people will start paying attention to me, Konohamaru, not the honorable grandson." While Konohamaru is ranting, a certain Tokubetsu Jonin is standing undetected in the trees behind them, silently thinking. "I see, that explains it. He would never tell me why he always wanted to be Hokage and attacks his grandfather, and yet the demon brat has managed to get him to open up to him. Maybe he isn't the demon after all? Why would a demon teach someone when he could just gut them alive?" Then Naruto's reply cemented Ebisu's newfound belief that the boy was in fact not the QB reborn. "Well then, I'll give you one last lesson. This is the most important thing you will ever learn." At this, Konohamaru looks up at Naruto, waiting impatiently for what has about to say. "If you want to be the Hokage, there are no shortcuts. No easy ways. The only way to become strong is to train every day until you reach your limit, then keep training. That's what sets people apart. Anyone can train until they reach their limit, but only special people can train past their limits. That's what allows them to expand them, but that is not the only thing you need to be strong. No, you need to find someone precious to you. Someone you are willing to protect with your life. Only when you have people to protect can you truly become strong. Why do you think the Hokage is the strongest ninja in the village? Is it because of all the jutsu he knows? Because of all his training? No, the answer is because he treats every single person in Konoha as his family, his precious people. That is why he is so strong, because he fights for the entire village. After Naruto finishes his lecture, Konohamaru stands up and starts to walk away, then he turns around and says, "Thanks a lot, boss. I think I understand now, and I have a new dream. I'm no longer going to the 5th Hokage, I'm going to become the 6th Hokage." Looking at him strangely, Naruto asks, "Why the 6th and not the 5th? Looking at him with a smirk on his face, Konohamaru replies, "That's simple, boss, 'cause you're going to be the 5th Hokage." With that, Konohamaru turned back around and kept walking, leaving a stunned Naruto and Ebisu in the clearings/trees respectively. As Naruto gets up and starts to walk away, he says out loud, "You should follow him, help him train. Can't have a weak 6th Hokage, can we?" With that, Naruto disappears in a puff of smoke and leaves, leaving a stunned Ebisu at being detected by a mere genin. The next day, Konoha Academy. 27 kids are inside one classroom, most of them shouting to each other, with everyone talking, or at least thinking, about team assignments. Just then a tired and still slightly sore Iruka walks into the class and stands at the front. When everyone keeps talking, he decides to make his presence felt with a combination of the gigantic head jutsu and his naturally loud voice. "Will you all shut up and sit down?" With that sudden outburst, everyone quickly flies to their seats and awaits the announcement of the team assignments. Instead, he begins to babble on about some unimportant ninja stuff they don't want to know. Meanwhile, a group of jonin gathered in the Hokage's office begin their own discussions on team assignments. Kakashi, who is on time for once, speaks up first. "Hokage-sama, if I may, I would like to request Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke and Hyuga Hinata be the 3 genins that make up Team 7. At this, everyone turns to face him. "Kakashi, don't you think that team is a little under? You know we normally try to balance the teams as best as possible, but the one you are suggesting would consist of 2 of the academy's worst students, and a Hyuga who has such issues with confidence that she is frightened at the slightest sound." Not willing to back down on his team, Kakashi decides to push a little harder. "I know that, Hokage-sama, but I was aiming to create a heavy combat/assault team. Sasuke is perfect for this because of both his natural alignment with fire, which possesses many high-powered and area attacks, along with his very large for a genin chakra reserves and the Sharingan when he unlocks it. Then there's Hinata, a Hyuga. She has great potential. With proper training, she could not only target the enemy and direct the attacks, allowing the team to attack from a range they would normally not be able to, but she would also act as the perfect taijutsu cover while the boys raining down medium to long-range ninjutsu. She would make sure no one could get to them and take them down in close range. Finally, there is Naruto. He would be a ninjutsu monster. He is only a genin, but he has a chakra capacity twice mine, which invoked gasps from the group at the idea of a mere genin having more chakra than the legendary copycat Nin. He mastered a jonin-level kenjutsu in a mere 1 hour, which will prove insanely useful. Not only would Naruto be able to train with shadow clones, but with a number that would allow him to train for years in just days. Also, because each shadow clone has a share of his massive chakra, he could use it for mass attacks. For example, he could summon 100 clones, then have 50 uses Katan, Karya Enden no Jutsu, and the other 50 use Futon, Daitapa to enhance the power and speed of the first attack. And with his Sharingan Eye, he would also have massive potential as well. While the third was nodding his head through all this, he decided he couldn't let this drop that easily. What about the other teams? Don't you think they would be disadvantaged by this? Kakashi, while surprised that the Hokage appeared to be giving in so quickly, was also prepared for that question. Well, sir, that is simple really. We all know that only 3 teams will pass, so to maximize the power of the teams that do pass, I suggest that Team 8 should be Hareno Sakura, Inuzuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino, as Kurenai is a stealth/genjutsu specialist, and that team would the perfect tracker/recon team. Kiba and Shino would provide great tracking abilities, with Kiba also been well versed in taijutsu, and Shino able to drain the enemy's chakra. While Sakura, who is clearly a medic/genjutsu type, so she would do great things with a genjutsu specialist as her teacher, would provide great genjutsu cover, and if you could get her to, she would probably provide good medic support for the team as well. Nodding slowly, the Hokage motioned for Kakashi to go on. Then there's Team 10, the Ino Shikacho combo. It has worked great in the past and will most likely continue to work great into the future. After listening to all this, the Hokage put on a look of deep thought and began to think. He does make a good point, and it would be good for him to continue to teach both Naruto and Sasuke, plus Hinata seems to be attracted to little Naruto, so she wouldn't mind. They would probably end up being one of our most successful and powerful teams, perhaps more so than the Sannin. Plus his ideas for the other two teams leave them pretty balanced as well. Damn, he must have spent a while thinking up all that. Oh well, it will probably mean less paperwork if I just give in. You provide a strong argument for your idea, Kakashi, and I feel that it does deserve a shot. So the new teams will be Team 7, Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke and Hyuga Hinata, Team 8, Haruno Sakura, Inazuka Kiba and Aburame Shino, and Team 10, Yamanaka Ino, Naro Shikamaru and Akimichi Choji. Now Kakashi, since this is your idea, go inform Iruka of the change in plans before he announces the teams. If he gets to one of the change teams before you tell him, then the teams will not change, understood? Nodding quickly, Kakashi disappears in a poof to make sure he gets the team he so wants. 1 minute later, Konoha Academy. Okay, then Team 6 will be Naruto, and Sasuke didn't pay attention to the team as they knew that Kakashi would do his best to make sure they were on his Team 7. Alright, then Team 7 will be. Just as Iruka was about to announce the members of Team 7, Kakashi appears in a puff of smoke and leaves and quickly walks over to Iruka and informs him of the changes to the team layout. After they are done whispering, Iruka coughs to get the class's attention again, as it had wandered in the short second he wasn't paying attention. Alright then class, Team 7 will consist of Uzumaki Naruto. At this, Naruto and Sasuke stuck their heads up while Hinata sat in the corner with a blush on her face, wondering if she would be with her Naruto-kun Uchiha Sasuke. With that, Naruto and Sasuke both smiled at each other in joy at being on the same team. Looking forward to their times as genin. Then realizing the last member had not been announced, Naruto began silently mouthing "not a fangirl," but poor Hinata, who was spying, only saw "not a girl" and felt her spirit crushed at the idea her beloved Naruto-kun wouldn't want a girl on his team. But then Iruka's voice snapped her attention back onto reality, and Hyuga Hinata, the second he finished saying that, Naruto was yelling in joy, shouting, "Ha, not a fangirl, we didn't get a fangirl. Thank you, Kami." While a tomato red Hinata sat up with a look of joy on her face. Yes, not only was I wrong about Naruto-kun not wanting a girl on his team, but he is happy I'm on his team, even if it's because I'm not a Sasuke fangirl. Even Hinata shuddered at how the beings known as fangirls acted. Just as she did, her hearing, along with the rest of the classes, was destroyed by the screeching of Sasuke's fan club over not a single one of them managing to get on his team. And yet Hinata just sat in her chair, still unbelievably happy that she was on Naruto-kun's team. Konoha Academy. Team 7, consisting of Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke and Hyuga Hinata, all sat in the classroom, far too excited over who they had been teamed with to even notice what teams their friends got stuck with. Now we delve into the minds of these three young ninja to discover what they are really thinking. Hinata, I'm on Naruto-kun's team. I'm on Naruto-kun's team. I am on Naruto-kun's team. Naruto-kun was excited to have me on his team. Excited about me. Wait, if I'm on Naruto-kun's team, that means I'll have to be around him. I don't know if I can handle it. I don't want to be turning bright red every time he looks at me and fainting. That would be bad, epically on missions. What am I going to do? All the meanwhile, to the real world, Hinata is glowing red, and going through a number of shades of red not known to man. Naruto, cool, I have Kakashi for a teacher, and Sasuke is on my team. Oh, and that Hinata girl is on my team too. I wonder what she will be like. I know from the pale, almost lavender eyes that she has the Byakugan, so she must be from the Hyuga clan. What did Kakashi say about them? I'll worry about it later. She looks pretty, but she's weird, shy and quiet. I think she may be a nice girl. Again, I'll worry about it later. Sasuke, yes, I know fangirls, but damn, I do have a girl on my team, Hinata. I hope she doesn't mind me reading Ika Paradise. And what don't you think hanging around Kakashi for 4 years would have an effect on him, around her? Now if she does, I'll point out Kakashi doing it, 'cause if I can't read it, then he can't either. Oh, and Naruto is on my team too, this will be fun. I wonder if he will tell her about the Sharingan. Okay, that's all class, just wait here and your Jonin teacher will show up soon. With that, Iruka heads out the door, feeling sorry for Team 7, who with Kakashi as their teacher will have to wait forever. He doesn't know how much Kakashi likes this team. Time skip 5 minutes. A red-eyed woman walks into the classroom. About a foot past the door, she says, Team 8, I'm Yuhi Kurina, your Jonin teacher, please come with me. And with just that brief sentence walks back out the door, while her team hurries after her. Just as she walks back out the door, a man with light brown skin and a cigarette in his mouth and says, Team 10, I am Saratobi Asuma, your Jonin teacher, meet me at the Korean barbecue. As he finishes, he walks out the door just like Kurenai did. Naruto and Sasuke decide to head over to Hinata to talk while they wait for Kakashi. Hey Hinata, a carefree Naruto says as he sits down next to her, turning her an even brighter red than before from when she was thinking about the team assignments. Get a hold of yourself, girl, you will be no help to Naruto-kun in the field if you faint at his presence. Now just breath in and out, good, and talk. Even with her mental pep talk, all Hinata can manage is to stutter out hello Naruto-kun before quickly stopping to keep herself from embarrassing herself too much. What do you say we all get to know each other? While me and Sasuke know each other pretty well from training together, we don't know a thing about you, so let's introduce ourselves to each other, as Kakashi won't be here for at least 3 hours. At that, Sasuke snorts. Yeah, he is the definition of late and lazy. Not once has he ever been on time to, well, anything, and then he comes up with these cheap excuses like I got lost on the path of life. How do you get lost on the path of life? Hinata chuckles lightly at the normally quiet Sasuke's outburst while Naruto falls to the floor laughing. Just as Naruto is recovering and stands, a puff of smoke appears at the bottom of the room, revealing Kakashi. The moment they laid eyes on him, all Naruto and Sasuke could do was staring wide-eyed with their jaws on the ground in shock. Kakashi, you're on time, the world is doomed, screamed a frightened Naruto, earning him a whack across the head by Sasuke. Shut up, Naruto, says Sasuke as he pulls out a kunai and throws it at Kakashi. It can't be Kakashi at all, it's clearly an imposter. Kakashi, while slightly shocked at his former secret students and his current real students' outbursts, manages to catch the kunai and pocket it. Come on, Sasuke and Naruto, I can be on time. His reply is Naruto saying yeah, for the new release of those pathetic Ika books. Before breaking out in laughter, earning a glare from Kakashi and Sasuke, while Kakashi just glared, Sasuke put words behind his glare. What's wrong with Ika? Demands Sasuke, angered that Naruto would dare insult his precious books. All Naruto can do at the glares and Sasuke's comment is just laugh harder. While poor Hinata is left out on all this, not knowing either Kakashi or whatever this Ika is. So in a rare act of bravery, she decides to voice her question. I know what is Ika. With that small statement, all 3 males just stare at her. Feeling like she has done something wrong, she starts to sink into her seat. Before she can move more than an inch, Naruto replies, these stupid perverted books written by some perverted hermit called Jiraiya or something. Its Jiraiya, yells Sasuke and Kakashi at the same time. All Hinata can do is let out a little chuckle. Kakashi, deciding cut this short before it drags on any longer, yells to his team. Meet me on the room in 5 minutes. Before they can even turn around, he is gone in his trademarked puff of smoke and leaves. Rooftop 4 minutes later. Ah, good, you're early, that's highly important for a ninja. If you're late on a mission, you or your teammates could wind up dead, says Kakashi, who, if you could see behind his mask, would be smirking, to the 3 slightly panting genin in front of him. As not only did they have to sprint all the way up 5 flights of stairs, and no clue how many there really are, but let's just make it 5, then search over the entire roof of the academy, before discovering that Kakashi was in fact on the roof of an adjacent building. So they had the choice of sprinting back down the stairs over to the other building, then up all its stairs, or jumping across the rooftops to the other building. For their continued well-being, the genin decided to jump across the rooftop. Naruto, being the first to recover, yells at the still smirking Kakashi, you're one to talk, you are always late, normally at least 2 hours. Kakashi, while smiling under his mask, puts his hands over his heart and said in mock hurt, you wound me, Naruto, to say such cruel, untrue things about your teacher. I was mostly on time for our meeting today. Sasuke could have sworn that if he wasn't wearing a mask, Kakashi would have poked his tongue out at Naruto. Moving on, let's all introduce each other. Name, likes, dislikes, hobbies, dreams, you get the idea. Hinata, feeling a little left out, not knowing anything about her new teacher, decides to speak up. Ano, Kakashi-sensei, see, could you go first? A still very shy Hinata manages to slowly stutter out. A shy heiress, eh? Okay then, my name is Hitaki Kakashi, my likes and dislikes are none of your business. Hobbies? I have lots of hobbies, and I don't really have a dream. All I found out was his name, thought a slightly depressed Hinata that her idea didn't work. Luckily for her, Naruto decided to fill her in. As he told you, his name is Kakashi, his likes are that perverted book of his. His dislikes are people, like me, who burn his books, which is very fun and enjoyable, you should try it. With that, Sasuke and Kakashi cringe at the idea of their other teammate also being a Ika burner. His hobbies include reading those books in public and collecting more of them. His dream is to collect every Ika book and have the writer of that smut autograph them all. Little Hinata gave a small chuckle at how obsessed her teacher seemed to be with those books, while yet again inventing new colors with her blush over Naruto talking to her. All the while Kakashi is giving a little pout over Naruto reveling too much about him. Deciding to get a tiny bit of payback, Kakashi says, okay then Naruto, since you felt like telling everyone about me, you go next. At that, Naruto just looks back at Kakashi and cheerfully begins, okay, my name's Uzumaki Naruto, my likes are ramen, Kakashi-sensei. Sasuke and Hinata-chan at both being mentioned in his likes, and that suffix Hinata turns, if it's possible, redder. My dislikes are the 3 minutes that it takes for instant ramen to cook and people who judge others without first getting to know them or for things out of their control. My hobbies are eating different types of ramen and training. My dream is to eat every type of ramen and become the greatest Hokage ever. With Naruto yelling out the last part. Just as I thought. Was all Kakashi had to say. Well, think. Sasuke, on the other hand, was thinking a lot more. Stupid Naruto, my ears are still ringing, did he have to be so loud? All of us, well, expect Hinata, already knew all of this. Well, it is Naruto. While Hinata was still stuck in a loop of he likes me, he likes me, he likes me over and over and over. Did I mention and over? Well then, Sasuke, you're up. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I like Ika Ika, Naruto Baka. At that yell of Sasuke team could be heard Kakashi-sensei. I dislike my brother, and people who dare speak ill of, let alone destroy, Ika Ika books. My dream is to restore my clan, and to kill my brother so he can never hurt anyone else. That's pretty good for someone who went through what he did. Luckily for us all, Naruto was there for him. Okay, on to the shy one. You're up. Hinata looks up, despite her face still being covered with the world record for a blush from Naruto's little speech, and she tries to speak, but ends up stuttering badly. And my name is Hyuga. Hi Hinata, I like. As she quickly glances at Naruto, blushes even more and continues, my little sister, I dislike people who look down on me and think I'm weak. She manages without stuttering, but her voice was getting quieter and quieter. And my whole hobby is FL flower pressing, and my dream is. She glances at Naruto again, and blushes even more again. Then quickly says to become a go-good he head for my clan and to fix the problems between the branch and main houses. While managed to not shudder for the last part. Both Sasuke and Kakashi looks at Hinata, then Naruto, and think at the same time she is madly in love with him, and he is still too thick to notice it. She'll probably have to hit him over the head with a sledgehammer to get him to realize. Even then I'm not sure. With Kakashi continuing on even 7 years training with me, and he still somehow turned out to be just as slow as his father. Maybe it's genetic? It took Kushina slamming him into a wall and kissing him for 2 minutes before Minato realized she loved him. That is after 2 years of everyone dropping hints. I think I may have to help them along then for reasons unknown to the 3 poor Genins. Kakashi starts laughing manically. After a few minutes, when he has recovered, Kakashi decides it time to tell them about the test, even though he knows they will pass. Okay, listen up, tomorrow is our first mission together. Naruto, while being slow, has great memory, but Kakashi-sensei, you said that all teams get tested before they get any missions. With that, Kakashi faceplants as he staggers back up. Yes, that's what the mission is. Survival training. Meet at training ground 7 at 7. Oh, and don't eat breakfast, or you'll puke. With that, Kakashi vanishes in a puff of smoke. Sasuke and Naruto look at each other, nod, then turn to Hinata. Eat a medium-sized breakfast, and meet at 9 not 7. And with that, Sasuke disappears in a puff of smoke and leaves while Naruto stays behind. Hinata-chan, would you like me to take you home? Not trusting her mouth to speak, Hinata just nods her head. Naruto then grabs her around the waist and says hang on, and they both disappear in a puff of smoke before reappearing in front of the gates of the Hyuga Manor. Here we are. Hey Hinata-chan, after we pass Kakashi's test tomorrow, want me to teach you how to do that? Still not trusting her mouth, Hinata just nods. Okay, then after the test stay behind and I'll work on it with you. Then Naruto disappears in puff of smoke. Training grounds 5 minutes later. Kega Bunshin no Jutsu. With that, 100 Naruto clones appear. Okay, 10 of you go over there and spread yourselves out. I'm going to see if I can use Bunshin Daibakuho with normal shadow clones. 10 more of you split yourselves up and spread yourselves evenly. I'm going to try and learn the swamp of the underworld jutsu on you. I'll practice using it for one target, try submerging you at various levels. Then I'll try a more powerful version of it on the rest of you clones to see if I can take you all out in a single hit. And with that, Naruto gets to work training to surprise Kakashi with the new attacks he knows. Elsewhere on the training grounds, same time. Katon, Ryuka no Jutsu. Just then a tree gets completely destroyed from the powerful fire attack. Good, that will defiantly surprise Kakashi. Hopefully it won't kill him, but oh well. Sasuke flashes through a large set of hand seals, then lowers his left hand while griping it with his right. A small ball of barley visible chakra appears in his hand. Sasuke pulls his arm back, then thrusts it forwards, yelling right on. Reibikohatsu. The second he is done, the ball lightning shoots out of his hand straight towards the tree. The second it hits the tree, it explodes, destroying a good portion of the tree. He won't be expecting me to be able to do that yet. Hyuga Manor, same time. Hinata, come with me to the dojo, you will be sparring against your sister. Hi, she said to his daughter before turning and walking towards the dojo. With Hinata quickly saying hi Otu-sama before quickly following behind him. Once they get there, Hinata sees that Hanabi is already waiting. They both slide into the Hyuga Juken stance, and their father says begin. With that, they are off. Hanabi charging in with a powerful Juken strike to Hinata's chest, but Hinata manages to block it with a Juken strike back. While this is slightly surprising for her weak sister, Hanabi just ignores it and continues to attack Hinata. Just before she can hit Hinata on the arm, sealing the Tenketsu in her right arm to stop her from attacking or defending with it, Hinata has a flashback. Flashback no Jutsu. Here we are. Hey Hinata, after we pass Kakashi's test tomorrow, want me to teach you how to do that? Flashback no Jutsu Ki. Remembering this, Hinata realizes that if Hanabi beats her today, she will be too weak tomorrow, with her Tenketsu only partly reopened. If there is one thing that can motivate Hinata to actually attack her little sister is the fear of disappointing Naruto. With that she is off. Quickly cancelling out Hanabi's attack with a juken strike to her arm at a speed Hinata didn't even realize she possessed. Hanabi, after being blocked, retreats up a bit, and decides her sister might put up a fight for once. So it's time to break her spirit. Hey Hinata, seems you're not as much of a weakling as I thought. Maybe if you keep training, by the time you're put in the branch family you'll be better than that loser you like. Now Hanabi expected this to break her sister. But it had the opposite effect. It made her angry, so now Hanabi is about to learn a very important lesson. You don't want an angry Hinata after you. Never speak about Naruto like that again, says Hinata in a low and surprisingly angry voice. Smugly Hanabi replies, what you going to do about it? What Hinata has to say in response is shocking to all. You are in the range of my divination. Jukenpo, Hack Rokujian show. The second those words are out of her mouth, Hinata is off. 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms, 64 palms. With the final strike, Hanabi is sent flying, with the clan medics rushing in to see if she is okay. Hayashi is shocked. How can Hinata do that? She could never use the Hack Rokujian show before, so what changed? Maybe it is the boy she likes. I will have to investigate, but first. Congratulations Hinata for your first victory over your little sister, you are dismissed, said Hayashi in his normal tone so as to hide his surprise, but all Hinata needed to hear was the congratulations to send her to Cloud 9. Not only had she defeated her little sister, but she could now use the Hack Rokujian show. Hinata was so excited. Maybe I can use that tomorrow during the test. I could impress Naruto-kun, and with that she ran off to her room to dream. Chapter 5, The Bell Test. Training Ground 7, the day of the bell test, 8:50. A nervous Hinata walks towards the tree at the center of the ground where her and the rest of Team 7 is to me. It's 9, I'm 2 hours late for the test and I didn't listen to Kakashi-sensei on eating briefcase. I hope Naruto-kun was right. I don't want to get in trouble, thought Hinata as she neared the tree. When she can finally see the tree, she finds Naruto and Sasuke sitting under it waiting. The second Naruto sees Hinata, he jumps up and yells, "Hey Hinata-chan, you got here just time, Ero-sensei should be here any time now." So loudly that it could be heard across the entire training ground. Looking confused, Hinata asks Naruto, "Ero-sensei?" Naruto laughs a bit before replying, "You know, Kakashi-sensei, well, he's really perverted reading those books of his, so he is Ero-sensei. Just like the Sasuke here is Ero-nis," and at that Sasuke gives a snort before saying, "Just because you don't like Ika doesn't make everyone who reads them a pervert." Naruto just stares at Sasuke. "Yes it does. You read perverted books, therefore you are a pervert." All the while innocent little Hinata is just standing there wondering what is actually in a perverted book. Just at that moment Kakashi decides to arrive. "Yo, sorry, I'm." Before Kakashi could finish he was cut off by Naruto. "No you're not, and don't give us some stupid excuse, like having saved some drowning fish." Kakashi looked a bit down at that, because that was the exact reason he was about to give. Anyways it's time for your test," was Kakashi's reply as he pulled out 2 bells and an alarm clock from his pouch. "To pass you have to get one of these bells. If you don't you'll get tied down to that post and have to watch while the rest of us eat lunch. Oh, and you'll be sent back to the academy." I'm glad I decided to listen to Naruto-kun, otherwise I'd be starving right now, thought a grateful Hinata. Then she realized that there were only 2 bells, but Kakashi-sensei, there's only 2 bells. Smiling at this, Kakashi replies, "I guess that means that one of you is going to fail then, or all of you could fail." With Hinata. This sent Hinata in a cycle of worry. If only 2 of us are going to make it onto the team, does that mean I'll be alone with Naruto-kun? No, I'm sure him and Sasuke will get the bells, they seem real close. I'll miss out on my chance to be with Naruto-kun. I'll be stuck in the academy another year. Father will be disappointed in me. No, I won't fail. I'll be with Naruto-kun no matter what. All Sasuke and Naruto did was shoot each other a look, having heard from Kakashi exactly what this test is about, when he told them how his sensei tested him. They sent unspoken messages to each other. "I'm first Sasuke," was all Naruto had to say, while Sasuke replies, "Fine. Not like he'll be tired when it's my go." At that Naruto scowled a little. Deciding to step in before his students had any more time to think, Kakashi said, "You have until noon. Begin." With that the 3 ninja disappeared into the trees. Expect Naruto. He just stood there, staring at Kakashi. Staring. Starting to get a little unnerved by the normally hyper-blonde's unblinking stare, Kakashi decides now would be a good time to read. Just when his hand grabs his copy of Ika Paradise is when Naruto makes his move. Shuriken came flying at Kakashi from all directions. Damn, there must be at least 20 clones hidden. When did Naruto summon them? Thought Kakashi as he leapt high into the air to avoid the shuriken. A stupid mistake, one that Kakashi realized when he was in the air. The reason he realized this was because of the 2 clones appearing beside him, but instead of attacking him like Kakashi had expected, the clones grabbed onto him. When Kakashi saw the smile on their faces, he knew he was in trouble. By Arrow-sensei, said the two clones cheerfully as they exploded in a great fireball that filled the sky. Hidden in the trees, Hinata gasped. Naruto-kun wouldn't kill Kakashi-sensei, would he? She was forced out of these thoughts when she felt a hand on her shoulder. Turning around, she saw the last person she expected. Kakashi-sensei! Exclaimed Hinata, and she jumped back in fear. Not because she was scared, but because of his appearance. Kakashi's hair was frayed, his vest ripped, his shirt and pants were scorched. Where did Naruto learn that technique? Was it from the Forbidden Scroll? If it wasn't for Naruto's warning, I wouldn't have been able to Kawari me out of there. Turning his attention back to Hinata, he decided that he needed time to rest, so he put his hands into a seal and said but two words. Night, Hinata. With that, Hinata collapsed to the ground as the sleep genjutsu overtook her. That should hold for an hour and maybe buy me some time to recover. With that, Kakashi dashed off into the trees to find a nice place to rest, and maybe read some Ika. With Naruto. Damn! A very frustrated blonde ninja yelled at the top of his voice. This was my chance to show Kakashi-sensei just how strong I am, and I screw it up. Naruto takes a few deep breaths before he continues his external monologue. Well, I guess I'd better find Hinata and fill her in on the plan. Naruto tried to find Hinata by searching for her chakra signature. He couldn't detect her. She must either be far away or unconscious. Probably Kakashi-sensei. After seeing that his first plan wasn't working, Naruto decided to try plan B. As with most plan Bs, it wasn't as good as plan A, for Naruto's plan B involved creating a sphere of chakra, then expanded outwards until he felt Hinata enter that sphere. This would be the perfect way of detecting someone, except for two problems. First, because it is a giant bubble of chakra, it's really hard to miss. The second is that because Naruto has to be the epicenter of the sphere, it lights him up like a Christmas tree. Luckily for Naruto, he didn't have to stretch his chakra out too far. For all of 200 m away in a tree at the edge of the clearing, he could feel Hinata's presence. Naruto summons 3 Kage Bunshin, one to watch Sasuke so he knows when to strike, one to follow Kakashi-sensei around, and the other, well, despite the fact that Naruto had in fact had breakfast, he was hungry, so he sent it off to get ramen. As Naruto approached Hinata, he noticed that her entire face was flushed red. Worried that she was sick or something, Naruto runs over to put his hand on her head. Just before Naruto's hand can contact with her forehead, he stops. For Naruto can hear Hinata talking. Oh, Naruto-kun, you're such a dirty boy. Now, if it wasn't for his training with Kakashi, Naruto might have interpreted that in the literal sense, that he was physically dirty, but after growing up with Kakashi, or as Naruto calls him, Arrow-sensei, Naruto learnt the ways of the world pretty quickly. Unfortunately, this wouldn't be a good thing for the young blonde, as right now his brain wasn't capable of processing the idea that a girl, especially a girl like Hinata, a girl from a rich and powerful clan, could like him, the demon of Konoha. So taking a page out of Hinata's book, Naruto fainted. Right on top of Hinata. The impact and sudden addition of weight to Hinata roused her from her genjutsu-induced dream. Only to see Naruto lying on top of her. All the poor shy Hyuga could do was let out a little eek before fainting, just like the blonde on top of her had done moments before. With Sasuke. A loud boom was heard throughout the training grounds, causing the young Uchiha to smirk. Seems like Naruto has had his fun. My turn, so out set Sasuke to find his favorite teacher, and repay him for his kind and enjoyable training sessions. When Sasuke sees Kakashi coming out of the trees, he begins his attack. Katon, Hausenka no Jutsu, yelled out Sasuke as he peppered Kakashi with a cloud of small fireballs, all filled with various weapons, from kunai, to shuriken, to explosive notes. As the burnt Kakashi sees the fireballs flying towards him, he starts to prepare a water jutsu to put them out. Before seeing Sasuke's smile, Kakashi's eyes widen when he remembers that Sasuke loves to fill his fireballs with objects of death. Quickly pulling off a substitution jutsu, with a conveniently placed log, Kakashi watched as the area he was standing only a second or two ago goes up in flames as a giant fireball consumes it. When the smoke clears, you can clearly see the weapons littering the ground. Damn, that could have got me, stupid Naru and his exploding clones, this really hurts. When Kakashi's gaze returned to the spot Sasuke was standing, he noticed something was very, very wrong. Sasuke was gone, there was nothing there. Just as Kakashi bent down to jump away, a hand sprung up from the ground and grabbed him by the ankle, pulling him in. While at the same time Sasuke jumped out of the ground. Gotcha, Kakashi-sensei. Time to meet my latest jutsu. As Sasuke lowered his hand, Kakashi stared in horror as Sasuke charged up what looked like his Chidori. No, it can't be, he has never seen me use that jutsu. I've never even told him about that jutsu. It's not possible, was all Kakashi could think as Sasuke raised his arm. Struggling as hard as he could, Kakashi managed to force his out of the ground and into the air where he thought he was safe. He was wrong. Sasuke drew his arm back and carefully aimed it at Kakashi. As Kakashi wondered what he was up to, Sasuke launched his arm forwards. Once his arm was fully extended, he yelled out Raiden, Reibakuhatsu no Jutsu, as the ball of lightning flew outwards towards Kakashi. "Oh shit," was all Kakashi could say as he rose his arm and formed the Chidori just in time to cancel out Sasuke's attack. Deciding to end it now, Kakashi quickly pulled a substitution with a rock behind Sasuke and before he could react gave Sasuke a chop to the neck, putting him down for a while. "Well, this is turning out to be harder than expected. I wonder how much extra training my students have been doing?" he said to no one in particular. With the Kakashi vanishes with a shunshin back to the memorial stone to recover a bit. With Naruto and Hinata. As Naruto wakes up, he slowly opens his eyes to see Hinata, more specifically Hinata's face, a mere inch from him. At the same time, Hinata was also slowly opening her eyes to see Naruto in the same situation. Once they realized the position they were in, they quickly jumped apart, facing away from each other while blushing red. Naruto, remembering why he went to find Hinata in the first place, said, "Hey Hinata, we can talk about what just happened after the test." Hinata turned around while quickly nodding and doing her best to will her blush away. "The reason I came to see you was that I know the true meaning of the test. We have to work together with Sasuke to get the bells. It doesn't matter if we actually get them or not, as long as we display teamwork we pass." Hinata smiled at this. "That means that no matter what, if we pass I get to stay on the same team as Naruto-kun." "Oh okay then let's go," stuttered Hinata while mentally she berated herself. "Stupid, I'm so stupid, I can't even say one normal sentence in front of Naruto-kun. If this keeps up he might think there's something wrong with me. Okay, let's go get Ero Sasuke." With that, Naruto jumped up into the trees heading for where he heard the explosions, with Hinata close behind. As Naruto was jumping through the trees, he saw something in the distance. "Hinata," he called out, to the distracted Hyuga behind him, "use your Byakugan to see if that's Sasuke up ahead." Giving a meek nod which Naruto didn't see, Hinata softly went through some hand seals and quietly said Byakugan. As her veins bulged, she focused ahead and saw that it was in fact Sasuke, a very angry-looking Sasuke. Hinata bravely made this known. "Nah Naruto-kun, Sasuke-san is up ahead, but he looks angry." Even though Hinata couldn't see it, Naruto smiled. "Thanks Hinata, and great job, you nearly managed to not stutter that time." Hinata blushed at Naruto's compliments. "Hey Sasuke," the hyperactive ninja yelled out as they exited the trees and leapt down into the clearing where a fuming Uchiha dwelled. Completely ignoring Naruto, Sasuke kept muttering to himself, "After all that one hit, he beat me in one hit, he wasn't even serious about it. One hit, I don't believe it. He was half dead, and he beat me in one hit." Sasuke's brooding was rudely interrupted by Naruto yelled, "Ero Sasuke, wake up." "Shut up Naruto no baka," was Sasuke's grumpy reply. No, Naruto-kun, what about the plan?" the meek Hyuga said. Naruto and Sasuke turned and stared at her. They had both forgotten she was even there. Remembering why he was there to begin with, Naruto began, "Oh right. Sasuke, it's time for teamwork. We have both had our shots at this." Sasuke nodded. "So what's the plan?" Naruto sat down and thought for a moment before inspiration struck. "Okay, I'll attack Kakashi-sensei with a group of shadow clones. Hinata, you will henjin to me and go with the group. While they distract him, you'll use Juken on Kakashi-sensei's legs so he can't move. Try and get his arms as well if you can. Then get out of the way while Sasuke uses his Katan, Hausenka no Jutsu to trap Kakashi-sensei in the one area, as well as prepare for covering fire. I'll then use my new Jutsu to trap Kakashi-sensei and grab the bells. Okay?" Both Hinata and Sasuke nodded in agreement, and the trio jump off into the trees. At the memorial stone with Kakashi. Naruto has exploding clones, Sasuke a new jutsu that looks frighteningly like My Chidori, but ranged, and I didn't find anything out about Hinata. This is not going well. I knew I shouldn't have based my expectation of Naruto and Sasuke on the training we have been doing. It's just like that to keep training later and not tell me about it," thought Kakashi as he finished treating the last of his burn wounds, when he looked at his watch, and they have portable alarm clocks, they can have watches, and saw it read 11:45. Not much time left for them. I was hoping they would pass. His last thought got cut off as Kakashi saw a sea of Naruto clones come charging at him. "Naruto, I thought I taught you better," was all Kakashi thought before he began sweeping through the hordes of clones. 1 down, 2, 3, 5, 10, the clones vanished in puffs of smoke faster than you could count. Using the smoke cloud as cover, Hinata snuck up behind Kakashi and began to attack. In 10 seconds it was over. All the clones were gone, the telltale smoke they leave behind gone, Hinata gone, and Kakashi unable to feel his legs or his left arm. This is bad, thought Kakashi, and then it got worse. A cry of Katan, Hausenka no Jutsu, was heard throughout the clearing, as hundreds of fireballs flew towards Kakashi. Luckily for him, none of them looked like they would hit. This raised a very important question. I know Sasuke can aim a lot better than that. What's he planning? This question was answered when the ground beneath Kakashi gave way and he found himself submerged just below waist level in a swamp. A very dark swamp, Yomi Numa? That's a forbidden technique due to the chakra usage, Naruto thought Kakashi as he saw an orange blur fly past him. Seconds later and Sasuke appeared in front of the submerged Kakashi, with Naruto a second behind them holding the bells. We pass right, Kakashi-sensei? asked Naruto in a sickly sweet voice. Kakashi dimly nodded, at the idea of being beat by genin, two of which he should know better than they knew themselves yet didn't. Once Naruto released Kakashi from the swamp, did he see that behind him there were two clones. Deciding to ask what was on his mind, Naruto, what would you have done if I hadn't said you passed? Naruto smiled at him and said, oh, that's simple, Ero-sensei. I would have retreated with Hinata and Sasuke, then detonated the clones behind you. If we defeated our Jonin-sensei in battle, we are pretty much guaranteed to pass, aren't we? Kakashi just stared at Naruto. Okay, well, let's go discuss what we are going to do now that we are a team. Oh, and it's important to share your secrets with your teammates. Teammates are family. If they don't know what you can do, they or even yourself may die because of it. Kakashi said while directly that last part mostly towards Naruto and Sasuke, partially because it was true, but also partially because he wanted to find out how much more they were hiding from him. After sitting down in silence from a few minutes, Naruto decided to break it. Well, I guess I'll go first. He took in a deep breath before beginning. I guess I'll do this in a rundown of my skills. Taijutsu. Well, I don't really have a real taijutsu style, kinda like Kakashi-sensei. I mostly make it up as I go and incorporate parts of other taijutsu styles in, kinda like how I borrowed parts of Sasuke's interceptor fist style. Not my strength, but not my weakness. Genjutsu. Well, I really suck at genjutsu. I can't dispel genjutsu normally because of a problem I have that prevents me from being able to stop my chakra. I do have a way for getting out of genjutsu, which I will explain later. Ninjutsu. My true strength. While my chakra control is barely average, my chakra levels are massive. That's what allows me to use my favorite jutsu, the Kage Bunshin, as much as I do. All the jutsu I know are low control, high chakra use. All of them being wide area attacks or kenjutsu. Oh, and I was in the library recently, and I found this cool book by the 4th Hokage called Sealing 101. It had cool stuff like how to make your own exploding tags, or storage scrolls. I was really good at that, so maybe I'm good at sealing too. At the mention of sealing, Kakashi's eyes widened. Naruto, you might be the second coming of the 4th. No, with the Sharingan and the Kyuubi you could be more than that, you could be unstoppable. Naruto gave Sasuke a look that silently said, I'll tell her about it after we are all done. So Sasuke decided to go next. Well, I guess I'm up then. Sasuke, like Naruto before him, took in a deep breath and began. Well, I think I'll do a breakdown like Naruto. Taijutsu. I'm reasonably good at the Uchiha clan's interceptor fist style. I have managed to master the first 3 of 6 scrolls on it, and I have just started on the 4th. Genjutsu. I haven't learned any genjutsu yet, as most of the Uchiha clan genjutsu require the Sharingan, which I haven't activated yet. Ninjutsu. I have a bunch of ninjutsu, mostly fire-typed, but some lightning as well. I have even created my own jutsu. It's called Raiten, Reiba Kohatsu. I used it on Kakashi in the test, but he used some weird lightning thing that looked kinda like mine, but he held it in his hand, while I shoot mine at my opponent. Well, that's pretty much it. After hearing this, Hinata was starting to look more and more down. Both Naruto-kun and Sasuke-san know so much, they are so strong, and Naruto-kun even managed to really hurt Kakashi-sensei in the test. Yet all I know is Juken, and even then I'm not very good at it. Hinata's internal monologue was erupted when she realized that it was her turn. Well, I can't really break my skills up like Naruto-kun and Sasuke-san, as the only thing I can do is the 3 basic academy jutsu, and Juken. With Juken I can do most of kata, and I managed to perform the hack Rokujion show yesterday, but I don't know if that was just luck or not. I can only activate my Byakugan by using hand seals. Hinata managed to say without stuttering, although it was done very softly, and she kept pushing her fingers together. Naruto, seeing how upset Hinata seemed, said, Don't worry Hinata, there's a reason me and Sasuke are so strong. When Hinata looked up at him, Naruto continued, You see, I have been training with Ero-sensei here since I was 5, and after the Uchiha massacre back when we were 7, Sasuke joined us as well. So we have been training together, with Ero-sensei, probably the strongest jonin in the village, for a long time. There is also another reason. When Hinata, looking at him puzzled, Naruto closed his eyes. When they opened, instead of the sparkling cerulean blue there was the blood-red eyes of the Sharingan, with 3 tomos in them. All Hinata could do was gasp. I don't know why I have the Sharingan. Kakashi-sensei said that it first appeared when I was born. Him and the 3rd both think it might have appeared because of me seeing my parents killed by the Kyuubi, and the fact I was nearly also killed. Since they don't know who my parents are, I wouldn't be accepted into the Uchiha clan without proof, and as I couldn't summon the Sharingan because I was a baby, I ended up growing up alone, until Ero-sensei started training me. Naruto said in a very serious manner, as shown by the fact he referred to Kakashi as Kakashi-sensei, not Ero-sensei, and the Hokage as the 3rd. Kakashi deciding to step in said, Well, we could do D-rank missions for a while, but how about we just train for the next couple weeks, then I start you on C-ranked missions. At this both Naruto and Sasuke yelled in acceptance, due to hearing of the horrors of D-ranks, while Hinata just meekly went along with Naruto. Chapter 6, The First Lesson. Training Ground 7, The day of the bell test 12 o'clock. Well then, you're all dismissed. Report here for training tomorrow morning at 6, Ja-na said Kakashi as he vanished, leaving behind the classical cloud of smoke and leaves. Sasuke left with merely saying, I'm going home to train, CYA Naruto, Hyuga-san. Just as Hinata was about to stumble out a farewell to her dear Naruto-kun, he said something first. Hey Hinata, I promised to teach you the Konoha Shunshin today, right? Hinata blushed bright red as she remembered Naruto's promise from the day before when he took her home, then she blushed more at remembering that he took her home. Followed by mentally cursing her forgetfulness, and nearly missing out on a chance to be with Naruto. How could I forget? I even used the hack Rokujian show on Hanabi-chan, just so I could have this time with Naruto-kun. Naruto, noticing that Hinata is practically glowing red and being as dense as he is in the ways of life, Naruto asked, Hey Hinata, are you okay? You're not sick or something? As he reached out to Hinata and put his hand on her head, when he felt how hot she was he mistook it for illness and said, Hinata, you're pretty hot. That was all Hinata heard before she fainted. If she had stayed awake for the next couple seconds she would have heard the ending of what Naruto was saying, and found it was something entirely different to what she was thinking. You must be SI. Naruto stopped when Hinata started falling. Quickly he swooped in and grabbed her just before she hit the ground. Noticing that she was starting to get less red, Naruto placed Hinata over at the base of the nearest tree and decided to train until she woke up. Training ground 7, 10 minutes later. A groggy Hinata slowly opened her eyelids to reveal her pale lavender eyes to the world. What she saw with those eyes was amazing. Beyond her wildest dreams. Thousands of Narutos standing in front of her. All shirtless. All covered in sweat. All training harder than she had seen anyone train, and she had seen her cousin Niji's teammate Lee-san train. Unable to take all of this in, Hinata just glowed bright red once more and fainted with a smile on her face. That would be something she would remember for the rest of her life. Well, at least until later in her life when more graphic things involving her Naruto-kun filled her memories instead. Training ground 7, another 10 minutes later. This time when Hinata slowly rose from the ground she saw something more shocking than before. There was a visible sphere of chakra surrounding Naruto. A sphere that constantly seemed to be changing, growing, shrinking, spinning in different directions. Activating her Byakugan, Hinata gasped in amazement at just how complex the sphere was. She saw that Naruto was in the fact controlling this sphere, an incredible feat. Hearing Hinata gasp, Naruto let go of the sphere, sending a chakra pulse out that would have reached the village, if training ground 7 wasn't the furthest training ground from the village, and I don't think that it really is, but in my FIC it is. When the sphere was completely dissipated, Naruto opened his eyes. When he saw Hinata he yelled out, Hey Hinata. Seeing her just staring at him in shock, Naruto asked, What's wrong, Hinata? Being jarring from her shock by Naruto's question, Hinata replied with, What was that you were doing, Naruto-kun? When Naruto started laughing, Hinata thought she had said something wrong, then he began his explanation. Oh, the chakra sphere, it's something Kakashi-sensei thought up. You see, I have too much chakra. In the eye have more than twice as much chakra as Kakashi-sensei. Naruto was interrupted by Hinata's gasp. When it appeared she had got over the shock of that little tad bit of information, Naruto continued, But as a result my chakra coils are stressed to the max. My chakra levels have grown faster than my coils could keep up. Heck, if it wasn't for my training with Kakashi-sensei I doubt I'd be able to perform any jutsu except for the Kage Bunshin without screwing up. Letting out another gasp, Hinata then started to say how no matter what Naruto wouldn't let something stop him, until Naruto cut her off. There's a reason for that though. The strain of having that much chakra in my coils makes it harder to release small amounts of chakra, hence my failure at creating bunshin or performing genjutsu. As they both require small amounts of chakra that is highly controlled, due to the mass pressure in my system, the moment I start to release even the tiniest bit of chakra it explodes out like an exploding geyser. That is also the reason I am so good at medium and high-level ninjutsu. If you ask most teachers they will tell you that high-level ninjutsu requires high-level chakra control. While that is true for most people, it is not for me. Because the reason they require high-level chakra control is that if you don't control your chakra when performing the jutsu you could wind up not using enough, the most common case, or having all your chakra drained. Due to my disability neither of those problems is an issue. Taking in a very deep breath, Naruto continued his story to the entranced Hinata. As for medium-level ninjutsu, they don't require much control, or chakra, but thanks to the fact I end up overcharging them I get new much more powerful techniques. This is great in combat. The enemy expects light breeze, or a small fireball, but instead gets gale force storm, or a gigantic fireball. What my chakra sphere, I call it mine because I am probably the only person who would be able to perform it, does is I create a solid sphere of chakra around me, then I work on controlling it, doing things like making it bigger, smaller, spin in different directions, etc. It makes for a really good chakra training tool. Anyways, enough about me. It's time for you to learn the Konoha Shushin, come over here. Quickly complying, even if she was a little upset over not finding out more about her Naruto-kun, Hinata found herself standing a mere foot away from Naruto. Now, like all Shunshin, the Konoha Shunshin has no hand seals. What you do is you focus all of your chakra into your hands first off. This speeds up your hand movement so it looks like you didn't move them at all. Then quickly you grab one of these, says Naruto as he pulls out a small ball. This is a Konoha smoke bomb. It is designed to explode in a puff of smoke and leaves. Now the leaves are a special type of leaf. They absorb chakra, so the excess chakra used does not come back as feedback and hurt the user in travel. After you throw the smoke bomb down, you focus all your chakra evenly across your entire body. Then focus on the point you want to arrive at. Close your eyes and imagine your chakra going to that point. When you feel a tugging at your chakra, release it. This will pull you along with your chakra instantly to that point. When Naruto was done, he looked at Hinata and it seemed she had questions, so he decided to give her the chance. Any questions? Hinata, being overwhelmed at being taught by Naruto, managed to ask her questions without stuttering. Do you have to close your eyes? Why isn't this used in combat? And how do the leaves stop chakra feedback? Why is that bad? Deciding to answer her questions one at a time, Naruto began to be honest. I have no idea why you have to close your eyes, but from what Kakashi-sensei has told me, anyone who has kept their eyes open has become blinded, so it's very important to close them. Besides the delay from popping the smoke bomb down, there is a lag time between when you arrive at your destination and when you get your eyes open and can move again. This is only 3 seconds, but in combat 3 seconds can mean the difference between life and death. Finally, as for the chakra feedback, when you release your chakra, most of it returns to you when you arrive, but some of it stays at the departure point until a second or two after you arrive, then it warps back to you and hits you. From what Kakashi-sensei described, it's kinda like getting hit by Juken, but everywhere. So the leaves absorb the chakra, preventing that effect. Enough of the theory, time for the practical. Hinata, I want you to focus on just getting the high-speed smoke bomb tossed down. While you train, I'll be practicing a jutsu. A thought up, call me when you think you have it done. Naruto managed to turn around and get 10 feet away before he heard Hinata calling him back. Despite not believing that he managed to get this done so fast, Naruto turned around and saw Hinata standing there 1 second, and instantly covered in a cloud of smoke and leaves the next. Shocked at Hinata's fast and flawless mastery of the Konoha smoke bomb toss, Naruto could only gape. Wow, Hinata, that's awesome, even me and Sasuke took an hour to get that. Blushing at Naruto's prize, Hinata quickly returned to her, stuttering, "Ano T, this a lot like Juken." Naruto replied with an ah, followed by still, "You managed to master it in a couple seconds, how you can believe you're a failure I don't know. Anyways, it's time for the next part. I want you to try focusing on that tree over there, and see if you can perform the Shunshin to travel to that tree." This time Naruto watched Hinata. When she disappeared in a puff of smoke, he looked over to the tree expectantly, but after a couple seconds when nothing arrived, he looked over to see Hinata only a foot or two away from where she had started. "Don't worry, Hinata, you just let go of the chakra too soon, it hadn't reached full strength yet. Try some more while I work on that jutsu." Walking over to a nearby tree, Naruto started focusing his chakra on the air. Gently guiding the air with his chakra, he slowly created a vacuum around the tree. Slowly some of the leaves on the tree start to turn brown. Seeing that his jutsu is working, Naruto tried to move the vacuum to the next tree, but suddenly Naruto loses control and all the air rushes back into the area he was creating the vacuum, resulting in a surpassingly strong wind that picked up a loose branch and sent it flying to the back of Naruto's head. Hearing Naruto hit the ground in pain, Hinata accidentally gets distracted as she about to Shushin and ends up above Naruto, in the air. When her body remembers that gravity exists, she crashes down onto Naruto, knocking them both out, leaving them in a very suggestive position. Training ground 7, 15 minutes later. Naruto slowly became aware of the world around him. He noticed he was outside, on the ground, and there was something nice and warm on top of him. Still half asleep, he gave whatever it was a hug cause it was nice and warm. Hearing a moan, he opens his eyes, to see that the nice warm thing on him was Hinata. Realizing just the position they are in, he starts fidgeting, trying to get out. Fate, deciding to be cruel, decided now would be the perfect time for Hinata to wake up. Hinata also slowly became aware that the nice pillow she was lying on was trying to escape. In her mostly asleep state, she didn't think it was odd for a pillow to be fidgeting and trying to crawl away. So she decided to hug the pillow closer. When she heard her name being called out quietly by the pillow, she realized something was wrong. Pillows don't normally talk to her. Opening her eyes slowly, as they began to focus, and she saw she was on top of Naruto, that he was blushing brightly, and that she was hugging him tightly. Quickly realizing the position she was in, she jumped away faster than a Shushin, while Naruto also sprung up and jumped away in the opposite direction the moment she was off him. Both of them looking away from each other to hide their respective blushes. Naruto, deciding to break the awkward silence, said, "So Hinata, how goes the Shunshin practice?" Deciding to agree with Naruto that it would be best if she just forgot about it, except for in her dreams, Hinata replied, "It went good. When you were hurt, I managed to Shunshin to you, although I was a few meters off, so instead of being next to you I was above you." Before going off into blushing land. Deciding to step in, Naruto said, well then how about you try and shunshin us to the Hyuga compound? If you can do that you will have mastered the shunshin. When Hinata agreed, Naruto stepped over to her and wrapped his arm around her waist. Well, let's go. Must not faint, must not faint, must not faint was all that occupied Hinata's thoughts as she fought both the approaching darkness and the growing blush at being held by Naruto. Focusing as hard as she could, Hinata managed to shunshin both of them to the gates of the Hyuga compound, then fainting right after. Naruto, picking her up bridal style, carried her to the guard at the gate and said, Hinata fainted just after she finished training, could you take her to her room? Nodding without saying anything, the guard took Hinata and departed for her room. Feeling tired himself, Naruto decided to head back home and departed to his apartment in a shunshin. Training Ground 7, the next day. When Kakashi arrived at the training ground, he found himself alone. Nothing but him and an empty training ground. A silent wind blew through the grounds. This left Kakashi quite shocked. He never had to wait for someone. No one was later than him. I was going to go easy on them, but because they dare to be later than me, I shall enjoy a little punishment. Him, no, that's too brutal. Plus, Anko might come after me for advice after hearing of it. Just then Kakashi snapped his fingers together. That's it. How they will learn never to be later than me again. Training Ground 7, 1 hour later. This time, when Kakashi reappeared in the training grounds, his team stood in front of him, with Naruto and Sasuke scowling at him. All Kakashi did was hold up 3 blank white pieces of paper. Were the thoughts of our 3 young genin. Losing patience after only 10 seconds, Naruto yelled out, what the hell are those pieces of paper for? With both Hinata and Sasuke nodding in agreement. Giving an eye smile, Kakashi said, simple, chakra paper. Yet again the genin team found themselves waiting for a continuation. For Kakashi to say something, anything. Yet there was nothing. Nothing but silence. Team 7 was sure they were going insane. They had even started to hear crickets. This time the one to snap was not Naruto but Sasuke. Well then, Kakashi-sensei, what is chakra paper? Giving another eye smile, damn, that's getting irritating, thought the 3 genin. Kakashi began its special paper to test your elemental affinity. Stopping once more to irritate his young genin, this will teach them to be later than me. Hinata, being the genius she was, even if her entire clan would deny it under penalty of death, caught on to Kakashi's little game. Mano, Kakashi-sensei, well, what is elemental affinity? And Ano, how does the paper work? Curse you, Hinata, you have figured it out, haven't you? Sometimes I regret choosing a team of geniuses. Maybe that's why Jiraiya-sama only teaches idiots. Sighing, Kakashi began, elemental affinity is what element you're best at. It is also the element which you will be able to convert your chakra to. So instead of manipulating the element with normal chakra, you use specially attuned chakra, called elemental chakra, to control the element. Because unlike normal chakra, this chakra is in tune with the element, you can manipulate it easier and do more with it. Before Kakashi could continue with his explanation, his was interrupted by the ever-energetic Naruto. So you mean like how all the Uchihas are good with fire? Sighing once more, Kakashi decided to correct his blonde student kind of Naruto. Most people think that all Uchihas have a fire affinity, but that's not true. The reason is that everyone can have 2 elemental affinities. While some people with special bloodlines can have more, normal people can only have 2 affinities. Your first affinity is called your primary affinity. Your primary affinity is your strongest elemental affinity. It will be easy to use, and should come almost naturally. Your second affinity has to be earned. By learning one elemental strongly, you can develop a secondary affinity for it. This is why everyone thinks all Uchihas have a fire affinity. They do in a sense, just as a secondary developed affinity, because of all the fire jutsu they learn. Pausing to see if his students are getting it, Kakashi sees that Sasuke and Hinata seem to understand fairly well. While Naruto is slightly struggling but doing pretty good, he decides to continue. I myself am an example of this. My primary element is lightning, while my secondary element is earth. In case you're wondering, I developed my secondary affinity for earth during the war against IWA. I ended up using enough Doton Jutsu to develop an affinity for earth. Anyways, enough with the explanation, it's time for the practical. To answer your second question, Hinata, the cards work by detecting the slight differences in your chakra that signify an elemental affinity. So all you do is channel chakra and the card will respond. If it cuts in half, it's wind, burns, it's fire, gets wet, it's water, turns to dust, it's earth, and if it crumples, it's lightning. With that, Kakashi hands out one card to Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata. Focusing on the cards, all 3 Leaf Genin channel their chakra into their respective cards. What happens was not what Kakashi was expecting. Hinata's card is the closest to what Kakashi has expected. For Hinata, he thought she would probably be water, it just seemed her nature, but not to this level. Normally when a person has an elemental affinity with water, the card gets damp, sometimes it gets soaked. Hinata's card had some water formed on top of the card, it was so wet. An affinity to water this strong had not been heard of since the Nighting himself. Sasuke's card, well, at least part of it was expected. When Sasuke channeled chakra into his card, half of it up in flames instantly, while the other half crumpled. Kakashi had expected Sasuke to have an affinity to fire, with all the Uchiha clan fire jutsu he learned, and how easy he had learned them, but this was unexpected, a double primary affinity. Outside of an elemental bloodline, this was nearly never heard of. But of all the cards, Naruto's was the most surprising. It had started out fine, it sliced right in half, perfectly down the middle. Then it went wrong. The right-hand side crumpled while the left stayed blank. This was not something Kakashi had expected from the son of his teacher. Even in death, that man finds ways to surprise Kakashi. Seeing his 3 students looking at him with questioning faces, Kakashi sighs and begins to explain what things happened. This is not what I was hoping for. I want to make them work, yet I end up working the most. This was unexpected. I think I'll start with the easiest to explain. Hinata, you have the strongest water affinity I have seen ever. You would have to ask Hokage-sama, but I think that it's pretty close to that of the Night Aims. To explain this concept, the stronger your affinity with an element, the easier it is to use. Now Sasuke, well, I have no idea what the hell caused this. From the look of it, I think you have 2 primary affinities. The only time I have seen that happen is in the case of an elemental blood limit, seeing as you're an Uchiha, and I know for certain your father didn't have any elemental blood limits. Not sure about your mother though. I think this is just a rare fluke event that ended up benefiting you. Unfortunately, you ended up with the short end of the stick in dual primaries. Lightning and fire doesn't create anything, expect more lightning and fire. If they mesh together, you could have had the ability to use a subtype element, like the first Smukton. Naruto. I have a slight, and I stress the word slight, idea about what your card means. You clearly have a primary affinity with wind, and then I think you have 2 secondary elements, lightning and a blank element, that can be developed like a normal secondary affinity. I have absolutely no idea what that means though. It might just mean you can use 3 types of elemental chakra, or you could fuse them together to form sub-elements. I just honestly don't know. Looking down at his genin, he sees mixed emotion on their faces, Hinata with a look of both awe at the strength of her element, and sadness that her father probably won't let her learn to use it. In Sasuke's face there's the patented Uchiha scowl. Now while Sasuke is normally a happy person, it's a side effect of being around Naruto for far too long. He's not that happy that while he got the 1 in a million fluke of having twin primary elements, they don't combine, so he's stuck with just normal elemental manipulation. While Naruto was pure joy at having 2 elements, one being wind, his favorite, and the ability to gain a third. Plus the possibility that he might get a subtype element later on. Deciding to finally get his vengeance, Kakashi says, okay, it is time for Elemental Manipulation 101. Be warned, however, this is something you don't learn until you are a high Chunin level nin. In fact, one of the requirements for becoming a Jonin is to be able to manipulate 2 elemental chakras. Hinata, you got the easier job out of the 3 of you. All of you are going to perform the leaf manipulation. The idea of leaf manipulation is to get used to converting your chakra to your element. Naruto and Sasuke chose an element to start practicing with. You will both have to work harder at this than Hinata, as while she only has to learn this once, you have to learn it twice, and Naruto, you may have to learn it a 3rd time. When you are successful in converting your chakra to your element, the leaf will react in a similar way as the paper did. For lightning it will crumple, for fire it will burn, for earth it will turn to dust, for wind it will split in half, and for water it will get wet. After Naruto, Hinata and Sasuke collect their leaves and begin focusing their chakra into the leaves, Kakashi says one last thing before pulling out his book. When channeling your chakra, think of both the element and what you want it to do. So for wind, think of the wind and think cutting, ECT. Oh, and this is the only training session we will spend on this. Because this is such a high-level technique, it would take weeks to learn. So learn it on your own time. As of tomorrow we start you basic chakra exercises. With that, Kakashi sits down and enjoys a nice read while watching his students suffer. Chapter 7, Training Kakashi Style. Training Ground 7, the next day. When Kakashi arrives at the training ground, 3 hours late as usual, there is something wrong. There is no one else there. It is empty. Just like yesterday. This can only cause one event. One very unhappy porn reading elite jonin. What happens when you have one very unhappy porn reading elite jonin as your teacher, you might ask? Well, it's not a scene from Ika Ika, that's for sure. No, it's pain time. After his first attempt at pain failed, miserably I might add, Kakashi decided on something crueler. Well, if nature manipulation didn't teach them their lesson, then maybe the high-level chakra manipulations will. If I recall correctly, Hinata hasn't done any chakra manipulations other than Stand Academy ones, while Sasuke has yet to finish kunai balancing, but damn, what to do about Naruto? Just then a light bulb appeared above the Jonin's head. I know, he said he was reading, Sealing 101. I know, I'll teach him advanced seals and how they work. If I recall correctly, Sealing 101 doesn't teach anything about actual sealing, just how to duplicate some real common seals, pre-encrypted, so I get to fill him in on all the confusing mumbo jumbo that goes with sealing. Ha, If getting a lesson in high-level sealing doesn't drive him mad, I don't know what will. With that, Kakashi broke up into manic laughter before shining off to find his tardy students this time instead of going off, reading some Ika and coming back 3 hours later. Ichiraku ramen. Ah, Naruto, Sasuke and Hinata-sama. How did your early morning training go? Asked the ramen chef as he started preparing a Naruto meal. The creation of the Naruto meal was a very interesting birthday present to our young Jinchuriki. Flashback no Jutsu, Naruto's 10th birthday. Please Kakashi-sensei, please beg Naruto. The reason for the begging comes from a debate between Naruto, Kakashi and Sasuke, even if Sasuke just stood there muttering about ramen-obsessed blondes. What the debate was about, you might ask. Well, it's something only our favorite ramen-obsessed blonde would argue about. Whether or not to have Naruto's birthday lunch at Ichiraku or a decent restaurant. While Naruto was feverishly arguing that they should go to Ichiraku's as there is no meal superior to ramen, Kakashi having had ramen for lunch, for 3 weeks in a row. All because of a stupid bet he made with Naruto over whether or not he could master a jutsu in 3 days. After having ramen for 3 weeks straight, Kakashi was really tired of having ramen for lunch. But Kakashi-sensei, it's my birthday, please beg Naruto. Finally Kakashi decided to give in, not because Naruto was getting to him, just because at this rate they will miss both lunch and dinner before Naruto stops begging. If ever. Ichiraku ramen, 5 minutes later. Having dragged Sasuke and Kakashi to Ichiraku's, Naruto got a big surprise. In front of him was a great big bowl of pork, miso and chicken ramen. Naruto looks up from the bowl to Tsuchi and Ayam, who are both looking down at him with big smiles on their faces. I am deciding to fill in Naruto. Happy birthday Naruto, turning 10 is a big thing, so to celebrate we made you a new dish we created just for you. The Naruto meal, 3 times as big as a normal bowl of ramen. It contains pork, miso and chicken ramen. Your 3 favorites. As the first customer to taste the new Naruto meal, it's on the house. All Naruto could do was stare at Ayam and Tsuchi, before he started crying. Ayam's smile fell right off her face, thinking that it was somehow her fault that Naruto was sad. Kakashi saw this as instantly understood. No one had ever treated Naruto this way. He was just overwhelmed, deciding to step in before there was more of a misunderstanding. Kakashi cleared his throat before saying, "It's not your fault he's crying, Ayam-san. It's just no one other than me and Sasuke here have treated Naruto with such kindness before. It's just so foreign to him that he is simply overwhelmed." Ayam, looking down at Naruto, saw the look of confirmation on his face as he nodded, and he picked up his chopsticks. Softly saying "Itadakimasu," Naruto picked up some of the noodles with his chopsticks, slowly rising them to his mouth, pausing a second before his mouth, before shoving them in and started chewing slowly. Slowly a look of realization crossed Naruto's face. Almost like he had some revelation about the meaning of life or something like that. All of a sudden the chopsticks were back in the bowl and Naruto began shoveling the ramen into his mouth, swallowing without chewing it anymore. He managed to work out in between mouthfuls. This gulp really chew great. After devouring the bowl in record time, Naruto let loose a great burp, while saying that was the best ramen ever, deafening Kakashi, Sasuke and any Inuzuka within half a mile. Tsuchi and Ayam smiled even more than before, both at the fact that Naruto enjoyed their birthday present, and that since the bowl is more expensive they have a lot more cash coming their way than normal. Flashback no Jutsu. So Sasuke and Hinata-sama, what are you going to order? Asked Ayam, while her father was preparing Naruto's ramen. Smiling meekly, Hinata replied, 1 miso please and ano, cold yup, please not call me Hinata-sama. I'm not worthy of being called Sama, stuttering heavily on the end. At which Naruto scowled. Hinata, if anyone is worthy of being called Sama, it's you. Not only are you from a great and powerful clan, but you are both strong and caring. Never say you are not worthy of anything ever again. Hinata blushing red from what Naruto had said, even if it wasn't meant entirely the way Hinata took it. Just then Kakashi decided to pop in with a puff of smoke. What are you 3 doing here? He said, with an angry tone in his voice, something Hinata had never heard before and something that Sasuke and Naruto had only heard once or twice. Naruto turned around and said, with a smile on his face, we are having an after-training breakfast. Giving Naruto a puzzled look, Kakashi asked, training? You're meant to be waiting for me at training ground 7. Still smiling, Naruto returned, yeah, well, since you're always 3 hours late, we decided that starting yesterday we would train while we waited. After we were done we would have some breakfast before waiting for you to show up. By the way, why are you here, Ero-sensei? Do you have ramen for breakfast as well? Shaking his head, Kakashi said, no. I'm here because you 3 are later than me for training. For the second time. Why do you think I gave you such hard training yesterday? I don't like waiting. At this, Naruto's face turned to panic. Sasuke remained neutral, although a little upset he hasn't had a chance to order yet, while Hinata blushed with embarrassment at being late for 2 training sessions in a row. What? We're later than you? Come on guys, we better go then. Just as Naruto was about to drag Hinata and Sasuke back to the training grounds, without even having ramen, Kakashi gave them a little eye smile and said, "Ma, let's have breakfast first, and how about from now on we meet up here instead of the training grounds, that way I won't miss you." At this Naruto cheered. Sasuke looked down at been condemned to having ramen every morning, while Hinata just smiled meekly. She seemed to slowly be getting better at interacting with her teammates. Training Ground 7, half an hour later. Okay, now I had planned to be cruel and make you all entire hard training for being late. At this Team 7 looked relieved that they wouldn't be put through the torture that Kakashi called training yesterday. There was a good reason elemental manipulation was considered a high-level chunin skill. It is one of the most exhausting exercises one can do. It leaves you completely drained, mentally, physically and chakra-wise. And we are still going to do them. At this Team 7 let out a groan. Looks like they were not spared after all. Today we are doing chakra exercises. Hinata, have you done any chakra exercises outside of the basic academy ones? Hinata shook her head in a negative reply. Okay, good, you're lucky. As you're a kunoichi you have better chakra control than Naruto and Sasuke here, but you have less chakra. So you are going to play catch up in the chakra exercises, and once you have finished them you will move on to chakra building. As the more chakra you have the harder it is to control. That is why we teach you control first, as it will help you deal with the higher levels of chakra easily. Sasuke, you're going to continue kunai balancing, but instead of balancing the kunai on your finger, you will be balancing your entire body on the kunai point. I'll show you how to do that after I've explained tree walking to Hinata. Finally, Naruto, since you seem to enjoy sealing. Kakashi pauses before giving an evil laugh. I'll be helping you in understanding how real Fuinjutsu works. After finishing, Kakashi gives another evil laugh, while the genin cringe in fear. When someone like Kakashi laughs, especially evilly, it's a really bad sign for your continued well-being. Well then, follow me, Hinata says Kakashi as he starts walking to a big tree a bit over from where everyone else was. Hinata quickly falls into step behind and slightly to the side of him. Noticing this, Kakashi frowns under his mask. This is something that needs fixing. Hinata seems to be making improvement interacting with the rest of the team. Well, not so much Naruto, but then Naruto's personality is so different from hers. Yet, this shyness and inferiority issues seem to be deeply ingrained. Per Hinata, she acts insecure and weak because her subconscious thinks that is the way she should be behaving. This will defiantly be hard to fix. Finally reaching the tree, Kakashi stops and turns around. Now Hinata, what you need to do is climb this tree without using your hands. What you have to do is draw chakra down to your feet. The hardest place is the body to control chakra, and use it to stick to the tree. Watch. Kakashi walks towards the tree and starts walking, having mastered this exercise to the level where he can walk on surfaces without even thinking about it anymore. Once he reaches the top, he turns around and looks down at Hinata. I want you to practice this until it becomes natural, to the level where I could throw you at the tree and you would stick to it without thinking about it. With that, he tosses a kunai down to her and says, use this to mark your progress. With that, Kakashi jumps off the tree and heads towards Sasuke, who is trying to balance a kunai on his finger, and failing, painfully. Per Sasuke, if you can't balance the kunai on your finger, then this training exercise will hurt. A lot. Grabbing the kunai off Sasuke, Kakashi embeds it handle first 5 centimeters into the ground. Okay, now lie down next to the kunai. Complying with Kakashi's strange request, Sasuke lies down next to the kunai. Okay, now rest your finger on the kunai tip. Still not seeing where this was going, Sasuke follows along. Good, now try and raise your finger above the kunai using your chakra. Starting to get a sinking feeling, Sasuke yet again follows Kakashi's instructions. Good, now push your hand down just using your elbow. While maintaining the chakra push, Sasuke follows Kakashi's instructions. Seconds later, a yell is heard, as Sasuke stabs the kunai about half a centimeter. Smiling, Kakashi says, well, it seems you were not releasing enough chakra. Once you can push down with your elbow, move to your entire arm, then your entire body. Once you can push down with all your weight, call me and I'll give you the next step. Oh, and here is some bandages and blood replenishing pills. Trust me, you'll need them, Kakashi says as he tosses the bandages and pills to Sasuke before heading off to Naruto. Ah, Naruto, you get to enjoy me explaining seals. There is a reason that seal masters are the most highly sought after type of ninja, while they are the most powerful. Before Kakashi could finish, Naruto cut him off, yelling in joy. Kakashi silenced him with a loud but turning his attention back to Kakashi. Naruto listened while Kakashi explained it is also the most difficult to learn, kinda. Sealing itself is unbelievably simple. All it takes is a few kanji and chakra. At this, Naruto interrupts. But Kakashi-sensei, all the seals I've seen have been in this really complex squiggly stuff. Nodding at Naruto, Kakashi explained. That's because you have only seen encrypted seals. Every seal you will ever see in use is encrypted. This is to protect the seals from being cracked. Let's say Konoha made a superior explosive seal, you wouldn't want the enemies to find out how it works, right? So every seal master attaches an encryption seal as the last seal in the sequence. This encrypts the seal the second it is finished. Every encryption is identical, but because of how incredibly complex it is, no one has ever been able to decipher the encryption code, so it doesn't matter. The only downside with the encryption seal is that if you duplicate the encryption exactly, it will still work just like the original seal was designed. So if the enemy managed to get a hold of an encrypted seal, they could copy it, but they would be unable to understand how it works, why it works, what exactly it does, and how to replicate it other than copy then highly complicated code. So to duplicate an encrypted seal would take hours upon hours, while a normal seal could be made in minutes, seconds if the seal is simple and the seal master is skilled enough. The other problem with copying an encrypted seal is that it has to be finalized with chakra in the right manner, but as the user does not know what the manner is, because they don't know how the seal works, they have to try through trial and error, so it can take months to figure out how even some of the simplest seals work. While Kakashi stopped a moment to let it all sink into Naruto, Naruto just stared at Kakashi with a look of awe on his face. Deciding Naruto had enough time to let it sink in, Kakashi continues. Each kanji determines how a seal will work. I will give you an example as it is the best way to understand. Pulling out a small piece of paper, seal brush and small pot of ink, Kakashi draws the kanji for lightning, then turns to Naruto. This is how we created a basic shock tag. First is the kanji for lightning, as you see right now. This stores the electrical charge. Kakashi then draws a circle around it, writes the kanji for 5, then a little away from that writes the kanji for time. The circle is a barrier. It holds the electrical charge in, keeping it from escaping. The 5 denotes how long something will be. The time kanji means that the 5 is time, so the barrier will hold for 5 seconds after the seal is activated. Kakashi then draws the kanji for first, but writes it twice the normal size over the time kanji. This means that when the seal is activated, the first kanji activated is the timer. This is very important. If you don't add this step, the chakra will randomly activate either the timer or the charge storage. If it activates the charge storage, you'll be in for a shock. Finally, Kakashi draws a line from the final stroke of the kanji for time to the first stroke of the kanji for 5, then from the final stroke of the kanji for 5 to the circle. This signifies the relation, so the timer is activated, it is activated for 5 seconds, and the timer is for the barrier. Once the barrier releases, the lightning kanji will be unable to contain the chakra anymore and release it. Pausing for a moment, Kakashi is about to continue when Naruto asks a question. So is that it? Frowning at his student's impatience, Kakashi says. No, Naruto, there are 2 more steps. First, we need to apply the right chakra to the seal. To begin, I simply apply normal chakra to the circle. The charges the barrier, then I apply lightning element chakra to the lightning kanji. This charges the kanji. The more lightning chakra I add, the more powerful the tag. At this, Naruto asks the obvious question, then does that mean that I'll only be able to create seals that have to do with wind, lightning and my third element? Smiling at his student's intelligence, Kakashi decides to inform Naruto about one of the most interesting aspects of seals. No, Naruto. There is a really powerful seal called a chakra converter. What it does is it takes your normal chakra and then converts it to the chakra of the right element. Despite how useful this sounds, it is not used in battle for one small reason. It is highly inefficient. It has an efficiency of 1%. So for example, if you put enough chakra to create 100 Kage Bunshin in the seal, you would get enough chakra of the right element to create 1 Kage Bunshin. This makes it more efficient to just use your normal chakra in battle rather than the elemental chakra, as the bonus gain from using elemental chakra is not worth it in most situations. Thanks to your massive chakra reserves, you may be able to use this in the future for 2 elements you lack, but it would only be realistic for jutsu that require chakra of the right element, and will not work with normal chakra. Then a moment of inspiration hits Naruto, one of those really rare profound thoughts. Kakashi-sensei? Yes, Naruto? Would it be more efficient if you converted the chakra to an element you already possess? For example, I have a secondary affinity with lightning. If I used a lightning conversion seal to increase my affinity to that of a level matching a primary element, would it be more chakra efficient? At this, a dumb look crosses Kakashi's face, even though you can't see it through the mask. I never thought of that. I don't think anyone has. Once you get skilled enough to start creating your own seals, we'll have to try that, as you would have to create your own seal array to do that, as the normal one is reliant on the fact you have no affinity with the element, so it forces the chakra to convert to the element. But that is why it wastes so much chakra. But you are looking more for a seal the strength of the lightning chakra, that should in theory be more efficient, but probably more difficult to create. Anyways, we have moved off topic, we still need to finish off this seal. At that, Naruto looks confused. What do you mean, what's left? Shaking his head, Kakashi says, Naruto, what was the first thing I told you about? Encryption, we didn't encrypt this seal. Smiling this time, Kakashi nods his head yes. Now we draw the seal for encryption like this. With that, Kakashi draws the kanji for encryption really big, so that it covers everything else on the seal. The encryption kanji will only affect kanji that it is drawn over. Now we just channel chakra into the encryption kanji like this, and as Kakashi channels chakra into the encryption kanji, the lines of the different kanji begin to break apart, and form the classical squiggles you see in normal seals. They then glow blue and Kakashi removes his hand. Now the seal is complete and ready for use. Watch with that. Kakashi channels a bit of chakra into the seal to activate it and tosses it at a tree. 5 seconds later the area where the seal was is burnt black from the lightning traveling through it. Naruto yells in excitement, cool. Smiling, Kakashi pulls a book out of his pouch and says this is called An Introduction to Seals, by Minato Namikaze. Now, whatever happens you cannot let this book fall into the hands of anyone else. Sealing guides are one of the most valuable things in the elemental countries. Especially ones by Minato-sensei. He was the world's most renowned seal master. His nickname of the Yellow Flash was thanks to his use of seals to create his signature technique, the Hiraishin no Jutsu. At this Naruto just smiles, then laughs in excitement. His hero, the 4th Hokage, even if he did seal the Kyuubi into him, was known for his seals, and Naruto was learning seals. It was all Naruto could do to keep from dancing around yelling. Kakashi gives Naruto an eye smile before sitting down under a tree and watching his 3 students train. Time skip 5 months. After 5 months of hours of daily training, Kakashi has finally decided it is time for his students to get to do a mission. Now that they have finally reached the level he feels is necessary for a C-rank mission. Maybe it was his stuffed up Chio dude, or that failed mission that cost his best friend's life, but Kakashi's idea of the level of skill required for a C-rank was a lot off. Hinata, having mastered tree walking, water walking and kunai balancing in 3 months, had moved on to chakra building. After getting her chakra level up to what could be considered high chunin, in a month and a half she started to learn the Juken move that Kakashi considered most important. The Kaiten. The ability to act as a giant shield. With her massive chakra control and much larger reserves, Hinata has taken to the role of shield quite well. Yet, in saying that, she is also one of the most dangerous, for not only is Hinata the shield, but the sword as well. As a side effect of Kakashi's training, Hinata's speed and flexibility has increased dramatically. This in turn makes her Juken much more dangerous. Hinata was not the only one to improve. Sasuke, after much pain, mastered the kunai balancing as well, spending an entire 3 months on it, versus the 2 Hinata had, for his much higher reserves made it nearly impossible to focus out such a minuscule amount of chakra, and constantly adjust that as the weight changed from him raising himself. Upon finally mastering that, Kakashi decided it was time for more fun training, attempting to unlock his Sharingan. Now in most cases it takes a life-threatening situation where the Sharingan could save the user's life to unlock it. So that's exactly what Kakashi did. High-speed spars, much faster than Sasuke could hope to stand up against. Every day Sasuke would end up in the hospital for the rest of the night. The doctors protested, Sasuke and Kakashi ignored them. Finally, 4.5 months later, the very day the doctors were planning on using their medical powers, after filling out the mountains of paperwork required to force the 2 shinobi to stop, it happened. Sasuke unlocked his Sharingan. 2 tomos in his right eye and 1 in his left formed that day on. Sasuke spent the rest of his time training on how to master the use of the Sharingan, managing to get it to evolve to 2 tomos in both eyes. Finally there was Naruto. While not as obvious as Sasuke and Hinata's growth, Naruto's was just as large, if not larger. For Naruto, now a seal adept, having completely mastered the 4th Hokage's books on sealing, there was but one thing standing between him and becoming a seal master: his own high-level seal. The final test to become a master of seals was to create your own high-level seal. The 4th Hokage's seal was the one used for the Hiraishin. Jiraiya's seal was a special rapid frog summoning seal. The thing that was special about Jiraiya's seal was that it was a simple seal that could be placed on the palm of one's hand. Then by wiping blood across it, the user could summon whatever toad they wanted with 100% certainty, with the exception of for some reason been unable to summon that toad normally, such as lack of chakra. The truly amazing this about this seal was it effectively reduced the amount of chakra needed to summon a toad. Normally different toads are ranked on chakra required to summon them. You provide chakra within a toad's rank and you will summon the first available toad. What Jiraiya's seal does is it draws out the exact amount of chakra required to summon that toad, no more no less, and because of the precision it is capable of a certain summon, unless that toad is unavailable. Naruto's seal would be just as impressive as these two if he could get it to work. The reason most rookie jonin end up dead is not due to inexperience, it is due to a lack of understanding. Most rookie jonin, just having mastered their secondary element, think that they are as adept in their secondary as their primary. This leads to overconfidence, and when they inevitably come up against someone whose primary element is their secondary, they die. Only those few jonin who understand this, or are lucky enough to survive long enough to understand this, live to see a long, by ninja standards, life. Naruto's seal will fix this by amplifying the power of a secondary affinity to that of a primary. The seal is actually several seals blended together. This is where the problem originates. The first seal is a simple chakra draining seal. The chakra is then focused and the element the seal is based on is amplified. The chakra is then stored in the third seal, a chakra storing seal. Finally, the fourth seal is a chakra sensing seal. It allows the user to regulate the entire seal system through the use of their chakra. With it, they can stop the seal from draining any more chakra, increase or decrease the chakra drain, adjust whether all the converted chakra is stored or if some of it is leaked out, if it is leaked out how much, and finally allowing the entire chakra store to be released at once. This all adds up to an extremely complicated seal, but if Naruto could get it to work, anyone who used the seal would be able to store up enough elemental chakra to be equal to the amount of chakra in their primary. Able to constantly convert his normal chakra into element chakra in battle, at a high cost but still able to. Plus, in theory, this seal would be able to amplify both one's secondary and primary affinities higher than a normal primary, in theory. There is only one problem with Naruto's seal knowledge. Most of it he can't apply. Seals require the manipulation of elemental chakra, something Naruto has trouble with. Despite working on it for 5 months, Naruto still doesn't have his nature manipulation down to the fine level required for seals. Despite both cutting and crumpling a leaf, cutting a waterfall in half, and electrifying an entire lake, his chakra manipulation, while good, is not to the high level required for seals. Luckily for Naruto, he has started on the final elemental manipulation lesson, one only required for sealing. Cutting a rock wall in half and electrifying a wall of rock, this doesn't help Naruto in the least, as his C-rank mission is about to start. Training Ground 7. Waiting under the tree, Naruto and Hinata sit at the base of the tree while Sasuke sits in a branch. When Kakashi arrives in a puff of smoke, they get up to start training. This is when Kakashi starts talking. Don't worry about training, I think you're finally ready for a mission. At the mention of a mission, Naruto's eyes glow, finally a chance to see how he fares in real combat. What's the mission? What's the mission? Asks Naruto impatiently. Well, we'll have to go to Hokage Tower to see if there are any C-rank missions available. So off they set to the Hokage Tower. Hokage Tower. As Team 7 enters the mission room, Kakashi says Team 7 requesting a C-rank mission. At this, Iruka jumps up and starts berating Kakashi. You can't seriously think they are ready for a C-rank mission. They were just in the academy 5 months ago, and they haven't even completed a single D-rank mission yet. Kakashi just looks at Iruka blankly. As I discussed with Hokage-sama, I don't feel like wasting my time, and my team's time, by doing chores. While other groups have been doing D-rank missions, we have been training. Naruto, Sasuke and Hinata are more than ready for a C-rank mission. They are more than likely capable of completing a B-rank mission by themselves, but I agreed with Hokage-sama when he said they needed to start by doing at least C-ranks. So I would like my team's mission now. Rage flashing across Iruka's face had been talked down to, and how Kakashi seemed to not care about putting his students, who were little more than kids, into a deadly situation, turns to the Hokage and yells, Hokage-sama, you can't allow this. Puffing on his pipe, the old man says, Iruka, I agreed with Kakashi after his team graduated, having watched their bell test, that when he feels they are ready they could start on C-rank missions. Turning back to Kakashi, the third continued, you are in luck. A C-rank protection mission has came up, perfect for your team. Please send in our guest. With that command, the door slides open. Naruto, Hinata and Sasuke, already knowing what type of person to be guarding on a C-ranked mission, are still floored at his appearance. Leaning heavily against the door frame with a bottle of sake to his mouth is an old man in well-worn dark brown cloths. Their expectations of what someone like this would act like are completely confirmed when the first words to leave his mouth are, you expect me to believe that this little brat's our ninja? He pauses as he gulps down some more sake before continuing, that little girl looks like she would lose in a battle with a fly. Now, while a Naruto, without spending most his life with Kakashi and Sasuke, might have lost it at the man's first comment, both that Naruto and the one we see today would be angered to the point of attack by his second. No one insults one of my friends like that, thinks Naruto. Before Kakashi can move, having not anticipated Naruto's reaction, a kunai has sliced all the way through the man's bottle of sake and embedded itself into the wall. The man looked at Naruto with his mouth hanging open. That a brat, not even a teenager yet, could have a kunai right next to his head without even seeing him move. This also caused a reaction with Iruka. Not knowing of Kakashi's secret training with Naruto, he finds himself wondering what the hell did Kakashi do to get Naruto moving that fast in just 5 months, and when did his aim get so good? Naruto brought a halt to all this thinking when he said, never insult one of my friends again. Or even if I fail the mission because of it, you will pay. Gulping nervously at the death threat by his so-called bodyguard, the man nodded. Deciding now would be a good time to introduce himself, the man began, well, my name is Tazuna, and I'm a super bridge builder, and it's your job to give me super protection, even if it means dying, until I return home and complete my super bridge. Konoha Gates, 15 minutes later. We yell, Naruto, this will be my first time outside of Konoha. After we have finished the mission, I say we have ramen to celebrate. This caused Sasuke and Kakashi to sigh, with Hinata giving a quiet giggle. Naruto, we can't eat ramen all the time, it's not healthy, berated Sasuke. But how could ramen be bad for you? It's the food of gods. Naruto practically yelled at Sasuke. Sighing, Sasuke realized that it was pointless to argue and just kept walking. Looking from Naruto to the rest of the team, Tazuna thought, can they really protect me? They're just kids, sure that Naruto Gaki is fast, but ninjas are really fast. Are those 3 kids going to die because I lied? There's nothing I can do about it. This is more important than my life, more important than their lives. This is about saving my country. I have to do this, no matter what the cost. 20 minutes later. As they continued along the road in silence, a small clearing appeared around the road. In the middle of the road there was a small puddle. This was noticed by all 4 ninja, who thought, a puddle? In summer? When it hasn't rained in weeks? Something's up. Despite this, they walked right past the puddle. With nothing happening, just as they are about to lower their guards, 2 ninja wearing mist headbands, with a slash through them, rise from the puddle, and wrap the chain connecting the gauntlets on their left and right hands respectively, around Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei yelled, the 3 started genin. Seconds later the 2 ninja pulled on the chains, tearing Kakashi to shreds. Shocked at this, the 3 freeze. Seconds later the 2 nuke nin appear behind Naruto. Snapping out of his frozen state, Naruto reacts, sending 2 kunai flying at the mist nins. Kunai launched from seems to be hidden kunai holsters in the sleeves of his jacket. One nin dodged to the left, putting his right in front of Sasuke, while the other dodged to the right, putting him in front of Hinata. The ninja in front of Hinata thought she would be easy prey. He was wrong. Reacting without thinking, Hinata lands a juken strike to the chakra point right in the middle of the trachea, impairing the man's ability to breath. Normally this alone would be enough to incapacitate if not kill an enemy ninja, but right now Hinata is acting more out of deeply ingrained training than rational thought, so she continues her attack. Attacking while he's staggering back from the shock of suddenly not being able to breathe, Hinata lands a strike directly over the death gate, forcing her chakra through the gate, unlocking it. Normally opening the death gate would give a ninja enough power to overwhelm most Kaigas at the cost of their life. The problem is you have to open all the gates in sequence. Hinata's juken strike only opened the death gate. This resulted in a massive amount of chakra being channeled through the poor man's heart. Not been able to exit at the same speed it was entering, it built up inside the coils intertwined with his heart. Until 3 seconds after the strike the coils exploded from the pressure, completely liquefying the man's heart. Realizing what she had just done, Hinata collapsed onto the ground next to the dead man. Sasuke's battle didn't go any better. When the mist nin appeared in front of him, Sasuke quickly launched 3 kunai at him. Sensing the incoming attack, the nuke nin dodged, right where Sasuke wanted him. Quickly flashing through some hand seals, Sasuke sucked in a deep breath. Just as the mist nin started running towards him, he breathed out, but instead of a breath of air, a gigantic fireball came Katon, Gokaku no Jutsu. As the gigantic fireball rushed towards the nin, Sasuke expected him to dodge. What he didn't know is that the nuke nin had built up too much speed to dodge this close. The fireball engulfed him. As he let loose screams of intense pain and then silence, Sasuke realized what he had just done. He had just killed that man. When the smoke cleared, all that was left was a corpse that was charred beyond recognition. Feeling sick at the sight, Sasuke vomited up the ramen he had had for breakfast at Naruto's insistent demand. While this was happening, Naruto had ran to the bridge builder to make sure there wasn't any more ninja hiding waiting to strike. As Sasuke finished puking, Kakashi exited the woods with a sad look on his face. Sorry guys, if I had known you'd react like that I would have come out quicker. I wasn't expecting you to kill them. At this, Naruto finally realizes just what happened. He looks to Hinata curled up in a ball on the ground shaking, next to the corpse of one of the mist nin, Sasuke walking away from a puddle of regurgitated ramen, near a lump of black char that kind of resembles a human. Realizing that Sasuke, while defiantly not looking that good, is better off than Hinata, Naruto runs over to Hinata to try and comfort her. Sure, Hinata-chan, it's okay, you just did what you had to, said Naruto in the most soothing voice he could manage. Uncurling enough to look up at Naruto, with tears streaming from her eyes, Hinata asks, but I killed him, I'm a monster, and I killed him, before she starts crying again, this time harder. Feeling extremely upset that Hinata thinks she is a monster, a thought Naruto himself had had many times, Naruto crouches down next to her and grabs her hand, saying, you're not a monster, Hinata-chan. You're Hyuga Hinata, and my friend. I wouldn't be friends with a monster, would I? So nothing to worry about, because other than Ero Sasuke, you're my best friend. Pulled out of her sorrow and regret over killing the man by Naruto saying she is his best friend, Hinata sits up and starts to glow red when she realizes how close she is to Naruto both emotionally and physically. Not been able to handle the emotional stress of both killing a man and having Naruto declare she is his best friend, she faints right onto Naruto. Feeling a little awkward over having Hinata faint on him, Naruto picks her up and carries her in his arms over to where Tazuna is before sitting her down. As he approaches, he hears Kakashi interrogating Tazuna. Would you care to tell me why 2 of my students just made their first kills on their very first mission? A mission that was meant to be C rank, no ninja, and yet there are 2 corpses here. From the looks of the one Hinata killed, they were the demon brothers. two Chunin-level Miss Nukenin renowned for both their great teamwork and willingness to fight to the end. Sweating under Kakashi's glare mixed with some light killing intent, Tazuna begins his story. I'm sorry, but I lied about the mission. While I am building a bridge, there is more than just some bandits after me. I am been hunted by a man called Gato. At this, Kakashi's eyes widen. Gato? As in Gato of Gato Shipping? The powerful and wealthy transportation tycoon? The same, while as far as most people know he's a powerful businessman, but what people don't know is that behind the scenes he sells drugs and contraband. Recently he took over the village hidden in the waves by buying out all our shipping companies. He now controls all access to and from the land of waves. I'm not sure why he wants to control the land of waves, but he has set up a base. I think he might be planning to use the land of waves as a hub for his drug and contraband running. He is after me because the bridge I am building will take away the control he has over the land. Because of him controlling all access to and from wave, everyone is poor. The entire village could only scrape enough money for a C-ranked mission, and that was by not eating every second day for 3 weeks. Sighing, Kakashi turns to his two conscious students. With a man like Gato behind this, the next opponent we come up against will probably be a Jonin. This mission is right now B-ranked, and probably become A-ranked or even S-ranked depending on who Gato sends. I'm not sure we can continue on. Sasuke, while you had a pretty good reaction for your first kill, Hinata, well, she has broken down. I'm not sure it would be safe for her to continue on. Naruto, getting a defiant glint in his eye, says, trust me, Kakashi-sensei. After I spoke with Hinata, she seemed fine. I just needed to reassure her that she wasn't a monster for killing that man. After that she blushed red and fainted. Why does she keep doing that? The other three there laughed at Naruto's complete obliviousness to the fact that Hinata is clearly in love with him. What's so funny? Asked Naruto angrily. Waving his hand, Kakashi replies, don't worry about it. Now if you two are sure you want to continue and you are sure that Hinata will be able to handle this, we will go on. After getting a nod from both boys, Kakashi turns to face Tazuna. Next time tell us. I'm sure the Hokage would have worked something out with you. Right now we will continue this mission, but we'll expect B, A or even S ranked pay depending on how the mission turns out, that is after your village is up and running. With that, Tazuna grinned happily. Kakashi picked up Hinata and slugged her over his shoulder, and they continued onwards. Forest, nightfall. It's time to stop and set up camp for the night. Naruto, go into the forest and collect firewood. Sasuke, go catch dinner. Me and Hinata will set up camp over there in the trees to help avoid detection, ordered Kakashi as he headed over to the area he pointed out. Grumbling, Naruto and Sasuke headed out into the forest to complete their assigned jobs. While Hinata was removing her tent from the ceiling scroll, one of Naruto's birthday's presents to her. With a sigh, Hinata remembers that day. Flashback, December 27th. Hinata groaned silently as she was forced to endure yet another Hyuga birthday celebration. It's not called a party because that's too much of a commoner's term, as only riffraff and rabble have parties. Civilized people like the Hyuga clan have celebrations. Not that in the eyes of the clan there was anything to celebrate. Despite Hinata showing more promise than before since her graduation, she is not what the Hyuga clan elders consider a good clan heir is like. She's still too weak. In their eyes, she stutters, displaying her fear, plays with her fingers in a disgraceful manner, and treats the branch family members like they are her equals. If the clan elders could, they would have her branded right there and then. Luckily for Hinata, they can't do that until her 16th birthday, when she must prove her right to lead the clan. If she fails to impress them, then they can brand her with the caged bird seal. So all in all, birthdays for Hinata suck. This is one of the reasons she connects with Naruto so much. While on her birthday she is only ignored and treated like a failure, Naruto is beaten if he steps outside. Even so, she can find a bond in their sharing of terrible birthdays. This year, however, was different. This year Naruto was on her team. This year Naruto knew it was her birthday. Right in the middle of another lecture about how weak she is and how she is unfit to lead the clan, a messenger from the Hokage arrives. Lord Hiashi, I am sorry to interrupt your eldest daughter's birthday. However, the Hokage has an important mission for her and her team. As such, she is required to accompany me back to the Hokage's tower to meet with her team. The messenger informed Hinata's father. Very well then, Hinata, you may leave. Try not to be a burden to your team. With that, Hiashi turns his back on her and walks away. Hokage Tower, 5 minutes later. As Hinata walked into the Hokage's office, she notices that the lights are out, and there doesn't appear to be anyone there. Hello? Hokage-sama? Are you here? Just as she is about to turn around, the lights snap on and Team 7, Irika, and the elderly Hokage jump out into sight. At the same time, a big banner drops down over the window at the front of the room saying Happy Birthday, Hinata. Hinata lets out a gasp and faints. Just before she hits the ground, Kakashi catches her. Well, that wasn't unexpected, Kakashi said plainly. Naruto, on the other hand, was a little upset. But we did all that and she faints, said Naruto before pouting. Don't worry, Naruto. Maybe she was just so surprised by your surprise party that she fainted, comforted the elderly Hokage. Beaming at him brightly, Naruto replies. Thanks, old man, you're probably right. Hey look, she's waking up. True to Naruto's word, Hinata was indeed awaking in Kakashi's arms. What's going on? Stuttered out a shocked Hinata. It's your birthday party, yelled an excited Naruto, deciding to step in. The elderly Kage told Hinata the story of how this happened. Hinata-san, a couple days ago Naruto came to see me about your birthday. When he found out you would spend the entire day in the Hyuga clan compound in what he called a boring meeting of stuck-up jerks, we came to an arrangement. At this, the Sandaime smiled at Naruto, while Naruto hung his head. I would set up this party, and get you out of the Hyuga celebration for the rest of the day, in return for a favor. Well, what are you all waiting for? Go, be young, and party. Hinata, remember each birthday only happens once, enjoy it as much as you can. With that, Team 7 and Irika left for ramen and cake at Ichiraku Ramen. 20 minutes later. After the cake was done, Naruto pulled Hinata off to the side of the bar. Hinata? Looking his feet while blushing at close contact, Hinata said. Yes, Naruto-kun? I made you this for your birthday. I hope you like it. With that, Naruto handed Hinata a standard jacket-sized scroll, and, like the one Kakashi keeps in his flak jacket, when she opened it she was in for a big surprise. A 20-slot sealing array was inside. This was special because while each slot could hold massive amounts of stuff, all of it would come out at once, so sorting sealed objects required multiple slots. As you increase the number of slots, the complexity of creating the seal increases exponentially, and while there are seals with more slots, something like this would have taken a novice weeks of work. Now, while Hinata doesn't know much about sealings, she does know how hard it is to create something like this, having heard Naruto complain about it before. Stuttering massively, Hinata managed to say, "TTH, thank you, Yunanera Naruto-kun," all the while glowing red. Smiling at her, Naruto said, "No problem, Hinata-chan. Next time I'll make sure to make you something even better. Well, let's get back to the party. Don't want to miss out on more ramen." With that, Naruto ran back to the rest of the party while Hinata slowly wandered over, still in a slight daze over Naruto's gift. And flashback. Just as Hinata finishes setting up her tent, Kakashi comes over. "Hinata, I need to talk to you about what happened earlier." Having got Hinata's attention, Kakashi continued, "While you normally wouldn't make your first kill on your first C-ranked mission, and then the mission would be so low rank that worries about it couldn't adversely affect the mission, as any Jonin can handle a C rank and look after an entire squad of genin. Meaning this could wait until a qualified psychotherapist. The problem is this mission is probably an A rank, and I can't afford to have to worry about you freezing up in battle because of you killing that Nukenin before. I need to know you're up to this. Your reaction was extremely severe." Nodding softly, Hinata replied, "I'm sorry, it's just, I killed him without even thinking about it. I just did it. I thought I must be some kind of monster. Only a monster could kill someone without even thinking about it, and not even feel anything. But then, Naruto-kun came over, he told me how I saved the bridge builder's life, my own life, how that because I was sad and worried about killing that man, that I wasn't a monster, that I was one of his best friends, so I couldn't be a monster," Hinata said in a soft, and yet at the same time strong voice. Tears rolling down her cheeks as she started crying partway through. Looking down at Hinata, Kakashi said, "There's nothing to worry about, Hinata. Every ninja goes through that. Expect the true monsters and psychos. In fact, Jonin-sensei are under strict orders that if a student displays little or no regard for killing someone, to report it the second they get back and have the student put through a full psyche test. Even I feel the same way every time I kill someone, and I have been doing it since I was 6. It will hurt a little less over time, but the pain from killing never goes away. Different people deal with it in different ways. Guy, a friend of mine, he does crazy training and rants about the power of youth to distract himself. Itachi, he used to eat a box of Pocky every hour. The Uchiha's probably tried to take his Pocky away." At that, both Hinata and Kakashi let out a small laugh. "You need to find something that works for you. Just try and pick something that's not dangerous. Many resort to drinking, which I don't recommend. While you forget for the night, it's worse the next day." With that, they set about finishing setting up camp. The next day, in Wave. A loud thud rang out across the clearing Team 7 was in, as a kunai thrown by Naruto impacts with the tree. At the same time, Hinata jumped at the sudden noise. Walking over and pushing the bush aside instead of the expected enemy, Nin is a white rabbit pinned to the tree by the scruff of its neck. Sasuke tauntingly yelled out to Naruto. "Great job, Dobe, managed to scare both Hinata and a rabbit half to death." Turning around, Naruto growls at Sasuke. "Team, just because you can't hear anything moving in the forest, I can. There was someone here." Speaking softly, Hinata voiced her thoughts. "Ano, it's a white rabbit, its fur should be brown because winter's over, only a rabbit raised inside would be white." Just as Hinata finished her sentence, Kakashi yelled out, "Duck!" while grabbing the bridge builder and pulling him down. A mere second later, a Zanbatsu, and CN at bottom, comes flying through the air and embeds itself into a nearby tree. Then a ninja dropped down on it. Zabuza of the Hidden Mist, A-Class Nuke Nin, What a surprise to see you here, said Kakashi when he recognized the nin on the sword. Sharingan Kakashi, now I know why the demon brothers lost, but you wouldn't kill nin like them, so why? Asked a curious Zabuza. Well, it wasn't me who fought them, was my students here, Sasuke and Hinata, said Kakashi, smirking about his students' abilities. Well, in that case I can't assume they are weaklings. This is bad. If I can't win this battle, I'll have to have Haku find some help. I'm not sure how good the copycat students are, but with him as their teacher they are probably strong. Not letting his lack of confidence show, Zabuza said. So those two brats took down the demon brothers then. I guess you lucked out then, getting two strong brats, but that kid in orange looks like he shouldn't be allowed near a kunai, let alone a real ninja. Smirking, Kakashi said. Naruto? He's the strongest of the tree. He has even more chakra than me. At this, Zabuza paled inside. Damn, I think I'll defiantly need help. I doubt I can beat Kakashi and these three brats. I'd better try and do as much damage as I can before having Haku pull me out and then get some aid. Still maintaining his air of confidence, Zabuza said. Well then, I guess the rumors of your strength were greatly exaggerated. With that, Zabuza disappeared as the mist began to roll in, only to reappear in the middle of the lake. He's gathering a large amount of chakra, probably for the Kirikaku no Jutsu. Well then, a large mist starts growing from where Zabuza is standing. Kakashi starts flying through hand seals. When the mist reaches the shore, Kakashi finishes before sucking in a deep breath, following by breathing out heavily. Futon. Daitapa, and a massive blast of wind is released, blowing away all of the mist. Snarling, Zabuza rushes towards Kakashi. When he reaches the shore, he jumps up to the tree and rips his sword Kubikiri Hocho from the tree before swinging it sideways at Kakashi. Diving out of the way, Kakashi quickly spins and tosses at the spot where Zabuza's leg will be when he reaches the ground. Zabuza counters this by holding that leg up, falling right into Kakashi's trap. The second Zabuza hits the ground, Kakashi is attacking him with two special kunai he had made, just for occasions like this, where he had to fight a sword user. Forcing the off-balanced Zabuza back, Kakashi goes for a sweeping kick but is promptly stopped when Zabuza slams his sword down, missing Kakashi's leg by inches. As this continued, the three genin could only look on with shock. While all three had sparred with Kakashi, they had no idea just how powerful a jonin of Kakashi's standing actually was. It was definitely unsettling, and completely destroyed any arrogance they had been gathering from the hard training and rapid growth under Kakashi's tutelage. Zabuza smirked, seeing and opening his swung his sword downwards at Kakashi, cutting right through his kunai, but instead of the squelch of cutting flesh, or the dying scream of the legendary nin, all he got was a loud pop as Kakashi went up in smoke. Sensing danger, Zabuza strafed left just in time to dodge deadly twin strikes to both center of the spinal column and the heart. Realizing he doesn't have much hope of a close-range battle, Zabuza retreats out onto the lake, followed by running through a large sequence of hand signs. Recognizing the hand signs for Sutin, Suryudan no Jutsu, Kakashi flashes through the hand signs for the Jutsu, skipping many so that his dragon comes out at the same time as Zabuza's. While Kakashi's was weaker, it did manage to slow down Zabuza's dragon so it fell harmlessly into the water. During the struggle between the two dragons, Kakashi's right hand flicked to his headband, raising it to reveal the Sharingan. As Zabuza starts the hand seals for Sutin, Daibaku for Kakashi mirrors them perfectly. As they finish, two walls rise up on the lake, crashing into each other, flooding the surrounding area. This forces the three young genin to grab Tazuna and drag him up into the trees. Just as Zabuza is about to try something else, he feels a hand grab him from underneath. At the same time, he hears the water-muffled words Raiden, Shaku, with that the area surrounding Zabuza and whatever grabbed him is bathed in lightning as both the user and the recipient are shocked heavily. This leaves a wildly convulsing Zabuza sinking into the water as his muscles are randomly contracting and expanding to the electricity that filled his body from the shock. At the same time, a pop is heard from a Kakashi shadow clone that had slowly swum underneath the missing nin. Just as Zabuza is fully submerged, two Saban needles fly towards where his neck should be. Looking at where Zabuza is, Team 7 sees a child, no older than 15, appear, wearing a hunter nin mask. Thanks for helping me. I've been tracking him for weeks, waiting for the opportunity to strike. Now excuse me. With that last sentence, the hunter nin grabs Zabuza's corpse and flickers away with him. Cursing, Kakashi turns to his students. Zabuza's alive. With that, all three and Tazuna gasp. What do you mean, Kakashi-sensei, stutters the shy Hinata. Hunter nin always dispose of the body on sight, that way there is no chance of them missing anything. Plus, the only way a Saban will kill you is if it hits a vital organ. There are no vital organs for Saban to hit in the neck, but there are pressure points that can be used to induce a fake death. Seeing his students' worried looks about Zabuza and this hunter nin returning, Kakashi says, don't worry about them. A fake death requires at least 4 days to recover from, plus the damage to his muscles and nervous system from my lightning attack should keep him down for at least a week, probably more. Sighing, his students walk over to his ready to leave. Just then Kakashi sways a bit before quickly pulling down his headband. Worried, Hinata asks, what's wrong, Kakashi-sensei? Giving Hinata an eye smile, Kakashi says, nothing, just used my Sharingan for a while, plus those jutsu, I'm just running a little low on chakra. Hinata meekly asks Ano Kakashi-sensei, why do you only have the Sharingan in one eye? Don't ninjas normally have Jujutsu in both eyes? I know Naruto-kun has it in both eyes, and what did you say about using it too long? I've seen Naruto hold it for hours. Kakashi's eye smile vanishes as he says, it's because it's not my Sharingan. It's a transplant from a friend who died on a mission with me. He unlocked his Sharingan on that mission, and I lost my eye. In his final moments, as he was dying, he begged our team medic to implant it into me. Because it's not mine, I can never turn it off, and it is a constant chakra drain equal to that of most A-rank jutsu. That's why I keep it behind my forehead protector to minimize the drain. With that, Team 7 heads off to Tazuna House. What if Naruto has all elemental affinities? NaruHina, and thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoyed this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.